That's not nothing. The point guard, as we know, is an extension of the head coach on the floor, and the fact that Schroeder clearly has an understanding of Darko's vision and his message, I think is already something that we're seeing out there on the floor. But then just in terms of the fit that we were talking about earlier, I mean, I mentioned the fast break points. Yeah. Offensively, this is still a work in progress, and I still think the Raptors are going to struggle a little bit to score in the half court. So their strength is still getting out on the break. It was something that they were good at last year. I think because of Schroeder, it's something that they're going to be better at this year. Yeah. We saw all those fast break points. I think it was 34 for the Raptors in Game 1. Schroeder had 8 of them, and he assisted on another 4. So I agree with Javon. I agree with Warren. Warren. I'm looking at Javon.
Names already.
I'm looking at Javon right now. I agree. At least I didn't say Fred. I agree.
Very true. Very true. Well, listen, I'm not as pretty as Javon, so I understand.
No, I agree with Warren. I agree with Warren. I think that this is a good fit here and a type of point guard that we haven't seen in Toronto in a long time, just in terms of his speed, quickness, and how dynamic he is.
Well, let's be honest. Javon loved every second of that, didn't he?
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course he did. We're going to step out so we can make way for Paul Jones and Javon Shepard. This is Raptors Game Night on TSN 1050.
10 seasons of big reveals, bigger surprises.
No way!
And now, the next big thing.
This is huge!
Get into The Masked Singer. New episode Wednesday at 8, 9 Mountain on CTV.
I asked my Mopar service expert for advice on preparing my car for winter. He said switch to winter tires. Below 7 degrees Celsius, they have superior adhesion to regular tires. That's good advice, I say. He says that's expert advice.
Enjoy a free seasonal tire changeover with peace of mind maintenance or inspection at the Get Winter Ready event. And buy 3 tires, get the 4th free. See your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer for details. We built it. We know it.
Immerse yourself in the beauty of Canada at CF Toronto Eaton Centre's new Canadian Chroma experience. Come explore the vibrant colors of Canada through 5 interactive exhibits that take you on a journey through the Canadian seasons, landscapes, and a celebration of Indigenous art. Check out Canadian Chroma, presented by CF, a free exhibit open daily at the north end of CF Toronto Eaton Centre. Visit cftorontoeatoncentre.com for more info.
Ontario has never invested more in student success. We're hiring thousands of new educators to work alongside some of the best paid teachers in Canada, right here in Ontario. We're investing in new reading and math supports and spending billions to upgrade and build state-of-the-art schools. Students are back in classrooms with their friends where they belong, so they learn the skills they need now for the jobs of the future. Learn more at ontario.ca/investing in students. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
This is an important message from Canadian Blood Services. Our national blood supply is at very low levels. Hospitals are conserving the use of certain blood types, but patient needs are outpacing donations. We need your help now to avoid negative impacts to patient care. If you are able, please donate blood today by booking an appointment at blood.ca or use the Give Blood app. You can make all the difference.
Golfers, the Golf Town Demo event is almost here, and you don't want to miss it. This is your chance to save up to 40% on Canada's largest selection of demo golf clubs, including top brands like Callaway, TaylorMade, Ping, Cobra, and more. The Demo Club event early access starts online at golftown.com Thursday, November 2nd at 12 p.m. Plus, doors open for the Demo Club event at your local golf town Saturday, November 4th at 9 a.m. Shop early for the best selection. Visit golftown.com for full details.
Prepare yourself. Your mission is codenamed Candy Creatures. Nissan Rogue's impressive fuel economy and improved turbo engine will get your little goblins from house to house and home before the stroke of midnight.
Your next Nissan is in stock and ready to roll. Lease a 2023 Rogue from $89 weekly for only 24 months. Inventory available now. SV all-wheel drive for $387 monthly at 4.99% with $3,795 down. Conditions apply.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream us on iHeartRadio, the TSN app, or on Apple CarPlay. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Raptors game night, first road game of the season, on to Chicago to take on the Bulls. DeMar DeRozan. Let's go over to Paul Jones and Javon Shepard. And Jonesy, plenty to work with. A lot of great storylines in that opener.
Jim, tons of them. And you know, we've got lots that we can chew on. I was listening to the segment that you, Warren, and Josh had, and I just want to touch before we get into it. Darko's really pulled it back, Javon. He's really peeled it back to a bygone era where, you know, a defensive matchup is a defensive matchup. Anthony Edwards shot 8 for 27 because OG was in his kitchen all night. There wasn't just let's run this and get kind of a brush screen or a ghost screen and get a switch, and now Anthony Edwards is working on, I don't know, a smaller guy like Schroeder or a bigger guy like Jakob. No, the Raptors, Darko's system is more of a throwback, traditional kind of system, Javon, that we've seen, you know, in years past in the NBA, where you keep a matchup.
It's what I like to call guarding your yard,
yes.
right? Just staying disciplined and having and keeping your matchup, and it forces everybody on the floor to be that much more disciplined. You listen to what OG said after the game. He was a little loose with Ant Edwards early, and he got to take away his space, and that was his matchup. And I think for everybody else, when teams are switching so much, and like you said, you're running ghost screens to find the matchups, it causes confusion on the defensive end. And a lot of times last year, you've seen guys looking behind them, pointing fingers, trying to figure out who missed their assignment.
Now, not that didn't happen on opening night in Toronto, but not a whole bunch of times.
To be expected.
Yeah.
Now you have guys that are stepping up. They know that this is their matchup. You win your matchup. If 5 guys on the court win their matchup, you win this game. Now there's going to be with every defense, every scheme, there's going to be a weak spot. That also is going to put a little bit more pressure on Pirtle because now guys are fighting over screens. You're not just switching all those ball screens with a primary ball handler. But I think to go along with Darko's defensive schemes and tactics and so forth is Schroeder's a big help there. You talk about OG, you know his capability, you know what Scotty does, you know Pascal, his ceiling on the defensive end. But the fact that Schroeder is going to pick up full court, the fact that he's going to press up on point guards, on ball handlers, and force them over ball screens, not die on those screens, and it makes it so much more difficult for you to get into your offense. So I like what I see. And again, if this team can keep this up, it also motivates you on the offensive end because the ball's moving and everybody's putting in their part, playing their part, and on a string on the defensive side.
No fly paper on defense. no sticky paper, dying on the screens. Darko grabbed his first win, Javon, and he didn't hold back with his celebration. It's out there on social media, very popular. And I'll just say this. As much as people talk about contracts and the business side of stuff and money, you look at that 2-minute clip of Darko celebrating in the locker room, and that speaks volumes to me. It speaks to how much he cares, how much he's put in, how much his team and the guys love him and want to play for him, and how much fun it is. Nobody's counting their money or looking at numbers at that time, and the pure, unadulterated enthusiasm and joy that comes along with winning. That's what we play for. That's what you play for in the schoolyard.
That is it. And I think Darko came in and had the right messaging, right? The most important thing for me is that it's going to be a shared vision. And that, what you've seen at the end of that game, he's getting his first win, the locker room celebrating him and celebrating one another. A shared vision. There's newness. There's opportunity. He said to these guys, I want to go 10 deep. So that means once the ball is tossed up as a player, everything is there for you. The opportunities are there. All you have to do is go out there and hoop. So he's been clear, and even Gary Trent Jr. at Media Day said Darko has been the most communicative with him over his career out of any coach.
Yeah, that says something.
Right, and that was the sentiments from a number of the other players as well. So shared vision, communicating, and buying in. And then obviously the foundation for me is guarding your yard on the defensive end. There's more accountability.
So the Raptors season gets off to a great start with a win at home. And maybe Taddy can relate to this. I'm not sure I can. I don't know if Warren can. I know Javon might be able to a little bit. There are times when you're out there golfing and you don't have your best swing, but you manage to beat it around the course and scramble and get up and down and post a good score. The Raptors posted a good win. Then, as Darko said in the celebratory clip, guys, we didn't play our best. I look at Chicago. They sure as heck didn't play their best, to the point where they had to have a players-only meeting, and their general manager, Mark Eversley, was on overdrive with our guys, and here's what he had to say.
1 of 82. And, if we walked in that locker room last night and there was no chatter, there was no talk, it was just a silent locker room, I'd be far more concerned than, them asking the coach to leave the locker room because they wanted to, talk a few things out. And, for me, it's a great sign. There's a care factor there, and they're not going to let this season just slip away, even if it is just one game.
Well, 1 of 82, I agree. But at the same time, the old expression, Javon, turn the page. If you turn the page too many times, you get to the end of the book and you haven't read anything.
Yeah, clearly there's a lot rolling over from last season with that group. You have Vooch that got into it with coaching, and even the fact that he said he didn't like what was going on out there. You have Torrey Craig saying this is one of the quietest teams that he's been on. And, I take what Mark Eversley's saying with a grain of salt, because at the end of the season, you don't want to look back and say we could have salvaged this earlier. We could have had these conversations earlier. So, yeah, it seems like there's a lot going on over there. They're putting out fires early. It does seem a bit early in the season for that. But at the same token, this team has some things to iron out. I think a big part of this is they also don't have Lonzo Ball, and they don't have a point guard on the court to manage this team. You have 4 guys on this team that were all-stars before in their career. So it's not a matter of talent on this team. It's a matter, to me, of managing the game. You need a point guard to facilitate, get the ball in the right places. Kobe White, he's young in his career. They've given him the keys. I don't know if he's fit for that amount of responsibility yet. And Zach LaVine, that's sharing minutes there as well. He's a hired scorer. So there's a lot for this team to figure out. And if you're the Raptors right now, you have a vulnerable team early in the season. You go out and you choke them early.
Absolutely. Javon, when I look at the way the season ended last year with the Raptors losing to the Bulls at home in the play-in game, is any of that, I mean, it's a new year, it's a new team in Toronto, they've got a new coach, but is there still a little bit of a bad taste in the mouth of an OG, a Pascal, a Jakob, some of these Scotty, some of the guys that are carryovers from last year?
You remember it, but honestly, Jonesy, I think right now with this club, there's so much positive energy that you're looking forward, right? You look at the number, was it 36.5 games that Vegas predicted that his team would win? That's what's going to fuel me. What's going to fuel me is everybody across the league, overlooking us, not respecting us. You look at all the conversations in the offseason, and that's what's going to fuel me. Not that loss against Chicago. That's last year. Right now, we've got off to a great start to this season. There's a lot to be excited about. There's new energy in the locker room. You have a coach that's inspired, enthusiastic, going to give opportunity to – this is essentially the same team without Fred. This is the same team. You think about it, a lot of these guys should have a chip on their shoulder because all season, last season, 22-23 season, they said this team didn't have any depth, right? So that's somewhat disrespectful to the guys that are on this squad. Now you fast forward a year later, and we're saying this team has depth, this team has excitement. I think that's more the fact that coaches opened up the floor and said these guys are going to play. I'm going to use a 10-man roster. And I think that's what I would use to fuel me if I was this group right here.
All right, last one before we go. Darko went 10 deep, but you look at the minute distribution, Grady only got a couple minutes. And, people, you walk the city and people are like, hey, Jonesy, Javon, what do you think about Grady? And I say, I think the kid's a good player. I think he's going to have the potential and will be a good player in this league. But there is something called experience. Unfortunately for Grady, there is no University of Missouri at Kansas City out there. Like this is the best of the best, and the scouting report is out on him. He can shoot it. Don't give him any room to breathe. Run him off the line. I like that he can do other things, but there are times when I guess the fan base has to realize that you don't win with young players consistently.
Man, Grady Dick is in the perfect situation. We were also spoiled with Scotty that came in physically ready for the NBA game, the grown man game. And I think with Grady, he's got to just come in right now and just play, learn, work on his body. You can see right now he has a lot of tools. He's probably exceeded what people thought in terms of skill set. I thought he did a great job in the preseason of just being a playmaker, right? The ability to read the game. I didn't expect that from him. Putting the ball on the floor more than 2 dribbles. He has that capability in his package. But to play through contact, to play at this level of athleticism and physicality, he's going to have to put on, I'm not going to say put on some weight, but just get a little stronger, get in the core area and so forth, and just finding his balance on the court. But he's going to be a heck of a player, can really shoot the basketball, and the guys around him, he has tremendous wings to learn from. So if I'm Grady Dick, I'm not concerned about minutes. I'm concerned about learning. I want to be a star when it's contract time. I want to be ready to play when, I can get that extension and get my pockets greased a bit. So he's here to learn. I think he's in a perfect situation and just getting his body better. And the way he reads the game, I've really been impressed.
Well, we'll see how impressive the Raptors are tonight as they go for their first 2-0 start since 2019. Jim?
Jonesy, obviously you've heard of how I golf, and what you referenced there was pretty well every time I go near a golf course. But nonetheless, the Raptors trying to go 2-0.
Yes, guy.
Yeah, well done. Thank you. We'll get over the starting lineup next and also some more pregame thoughts. This is Raptors Game Night on TSN 1050.
Did you wake up to this?
Our guest is Jim Nill. He's the general manager of the Dallas Stars.
Jim, I talked about my experience with you in Detroit. If I was a free agent today, what type of contract would you be signing me up for?
He's trying to keep his job, Coco. Come on.
What do you mean? I'll take an 8-year deal at $4 million a year. Come on.
That's right. Yeah. Wouldn't we all? No, you'd be. You know what? You'd be a great fit for us. The way you play the game, and the big thing with you, you're a great teammate and willing to play any role that made the team have a chance of winning. And that's what I really enjoy about you.
It's funny because I'm reading an article in the Detroit Free Press right now. The Red Wings had been pursuing the skilled but oft-injured Koliakable all summer.
Head to Sleep Country.
First up with Korolnik and Koliakabo. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
Prices by at least 5%. If you shop anywhere else,
when my knees were hurting, I was that guy who told everyone about it. I talked to my colleagues. Hi, everyone. My knees hurt. To my dog. My knees hurt. But really, I should have been talking to my dog.
You came here to kill me, so do it.
This month on Crave, every day is Halloween with all episodes of HBO's The Last of Us.
You're not going to scare us.
Here to the market, where our family's been making friends with farmers for over 67 years in order to get the freshest produce possible. Each week, come in store and see what's in harvest and all the amazing deals we have to share with you. For quality that meets your family standards, trust ours, Longo's. Hey, eat your vegetables, everyone.
While furnace breakdowns are unexpected, you can expect Reliance Home Comfort to fix it fast. We're here to take your call 24/7. And if you need a new one, pay no interest for 1 year on a featured furnace. That's right. That's 12 equal monthly payments interest-free. Looking to improve your home's energy efficiency? Upgrade to a heat pump system, and you may be eligible for up to $7,100 in government rebates and energy audits. So for an unexpected furnace breakdown, call on Reliance. Financing OAC for a 12-month term with no interest accruing. Conditions apply. See website for details.
Overdrive, Toronto's favorite way to drive home. Weekdays 4 to 7 on TSN 1050.
The Raptors starting lineup is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Hurry to your local Subaru dealer and get more out of every kilometer this fall, including more karaoke. For the Raptors, Schroeder, OG, Scotty, Pascal, and Pirtle will be the starters. Warren, just on the way to the top of the hour, in terms of what Jonesy said about Darko peeling it back, what the system that he's implementing here, what does it remind you of?
More of like a European style, I think. It's like a 1-4 out offense, and I like the fact that transition is such a big focus and ball movement. You've seen most of the offensive side of the basketball, the Raptors don't really hold the ball for more than 1 or 2 seconds. There is still some sort of plays where they are isolating guys, which is also good, but I think more so it's more predicated on ball movement, and we're seeing that. That's how you can go 10 deep. Guys are going to play, whether it is 2 minutes or 20, you're going to see a lot more bodies in there, and because of that, I think it creates a much more cohesive team. And I think we saw that on display. To hold Minnesota to 94 points on the first game, regardless of, game 1 or game 50, it's pretty impressive. And we've seen that defensively as well, how impactful they can be.
Now, the big question on the offensive end of the floor is going to be, can the shooting hold up, right? Because that was the big concern going into the season. It was a concern last year. And then you subtract Fred VanVleet from the roster, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 10-man rotation where really you've only got 2 guys who over their career have been above average three-point shooters in OG Anunoby and Gary Trent Jr. Now, OG shot the 3-ball really well on opening night, but so did a lot of other people, right? Like 4 for 8 from Dennis Schroeder. That is a great sign, and he hit some big shots, including a 3-ball midway through the fourth quarter to give the Raptors a lead, and they never looked back from there. If all of a sudden Schroeder is hitting threes, it's Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam who knocked down a couple of big threes late in that game. Like, all of a sudden, all these changes that we're talking about on the offensive end, moving the ball and making quicker decisions, cutting, all this other stuff becomes so much easier when those shots are falling. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. 0.5 offense only going to work if this team shoots the ball well. I'm not sure that we can expect to see them shooting 40% from 3 every night, but that was a good start, and I think if they're able to even shoot league average this year, this is going to be a really interesting team because of what they can do on the defensive end.
It's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. So 27 assists on 36 buckets in the opener and 40% from the outside. Pretty good shooting. There's a nice contribution from everybody, and we'll see what happens tonight. We'll step out and line up the opening tip-off for you next. This is Raptors Game Night on TSN 1050.
Natural diamonds were created by nature, deep in the heart of the earth. Created diamonds are born in the fiery heart of a plasma chamber.
What is plasma?
Lightning is made of plasma, and the sun is made of plasma. It's an environment where diamonds can form, just like when the earth was born.
But why do you get a bigger created diamond for your budget?
They made too many, too quickly, so right now we have a temporary oversupply, and the prices are at an all-time low.
But we sell both kinds, right?
Michael, we sell every kind of diamond there is.
Spence. Wow! Located in Vaughan, Scarborough, and Mississauga.
Hey Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I run at sonic speeds, but I'm not as quick as the fastest computer. And that's exactly what Sam needed. She runs an IT firm and needed an upgrade. Within 24 hours, she was approved for a business loan. After, I stuck around to play some online games. My legs might be fast, but my thumbs, even faster.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
At Sleep Country, we know the importance of a good pillow. With back sleepers, stomach sleepers, and even hot sleepers, finding the perfect pillow is possible. Come in for a personalized pillow fitting, and our sleep experts can find one that's just right for you. Right now, buy one of our best-selling pillows and get a second one half off. But hurry, for a limited time only. Restrictions may apply. See in-store or online. Sleep well, stay well, Sleep Country. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
And on the road for the first time this season, visiting the Chicago Bulls. Bulls got off to a tough start. They're 0-1, lost at home 124-104 to OKC. Well, the Raptors, with their home and season opener, 97-94 over Minnesota. The Raptors had an enthusiastic display in that opener, hoping that continues tonight, Jonesy. Let's go over to Paul Jones and Javon Shepard.
Yeah, Jim, Raptors, as I said earlier, trying to go 2-0 since for the first time since 2019, the title season, and now they got a good chance to do it. The way Chicago came out of the gate, kind of stumbled out of the gate, and as Javon said earlier, you want to jump on this team now, Javon, if you're Toronto, and see what you can get out of it. And road games are good for bonding, for, chemistry, for giving you a test. When that arena is hostile and they're all over you, that's when you really have to stay together and stay with your principles and your system and have it hardened through the fire.
Well, you're playing against a Chicago team that is obviously going through some things early. You've got to go out there and just absolutely rattle them right out of the gate and ride your positive energy right now. Especially this Raptors team that's coming off a season where they weren't the best road team, 14-27 on the road last season, and now you have the opportunity to come out and just kind of build some momentum for that opening that Minnesota win. You come out to a team right here that is going through some things obviously, and I mentioned it before, attacking their point guard play. I don't believe Kobe White is somebody that you can fear, but I think that's somebody that you could really get into, especially the way the Raptors have started out playing defense. And he's not somebody that's going to get his team involved and get his team going and really orchestrate the offense and have a pulse on the game. So that's definitely somewhere to attack. And you're coming home for 3 home games, right? So This is a team that can really get off to a good stretch. And you and I spoke about it before, not looking at a season as an 82-game season, but break it up into 4-game seasons. And this is an opportunity for the Raptors, I believe, to come out and build momentum, continue to ride that positive energy, and ride that enthusiasm that's starting with head coach Darko Rajakovic.
Well, listen, a lot of people think about it, 5 games at a time. And if you go 3-2 over the course of the entire year, you're close to 50 wins. So let's see what Toronto is able to muster tonight against Chicago. And we'll be watching, Javon, because, listen, new team, new terminology, new coaching staff. There's a lot of stuff, that's the theme, that's new right now in Toronto. And the more success you can have early when something is new, the more it reinforces that it's working. And on the other side of the coin, you have to expect that when you make changes, things sometimes, well, a lot of times get worse before they get better.
Right. And to your point there, I was speaking with Chad Sanders, director of scouting for the Raptors, and just talking about this team and the newness and the feel around the squad. And one thing he said is it's real. That stuck out to me because there was a lot of positivity in June when all the changes were made and with the head coaching position. And players seem to have bought in at that point, and you're waiting for it to kind of drop for a second. You're waiting for that high to kind of level out. And going into training camp, it was the exact same. The same positivity, the same energy. These guys attacked this newness as a challenge, right? But embraced it and channeled that into some energy. And we've seen it roll into the preseason. We've seen it roll into the beginning of the season. And yes, it's high right now. It's great right now. And you're on the road. And at some point in the season, you're going to feel and have some adversity. And that's when you learn about your team, learn about the character in your team. But for right now, keep riding it, keep moving the basketball.
Yes.
27 assists on 36 made field goals against Minnesota, and you're playing defense. You held Minnesota to just over 30% shooting. So this has been some big time play early for a team that had so much uncertainty and so much questions coming into the season.
62-24. That is the Toronto Raptors record when they have 27 assists or more, dating back to the 2019-2020 season. Last season, they were 16-7. They didn't have it that many times last season because when you look at the assist numbers per game last season, they were in the bottom third. They were 23rd, getting barely 24 assists per game. All right, the lights are down at the United Center, and they are getting set to get to the starting lineups. Let's get, first of all, to the starting lineups for the Toronto Raptors.
A 6'1" guard from Germany, number 17, Dennis Schroeder. A 6'8" forward from New Mexico State, number 43, Pascal Siakam. The head coach on the Toronto Raptors is Darko Rajakovic.
That is the Toronto Raptors starting lineup, and it is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Hurry to your local Subaru dealer and get more out of every kilometer this fall, including more karaoke. I just want to know, Shep, do you have a real karaoke jam? Do you have one?
Karaoke.
So
Karaoke
for me,
it's got to be some Usher. It's got to be. I got to hit those notes, Jones.
No, I see. I don't have those bars or that range in my voice or notes. See, there you go. Wait. Never sing on air because there's guys back there recording. All right. But for me, it's Eric Burden and War, Spill the Wine, because it's a low-key rap song where they're just talking. So I can't really expose myself. Or I could throw it back to some old-time big tune in Jamaica where nobody would understand, but I could karaoke it. So let's see how the Raptors dance to the music tonight, though, Javon.
But I hit that note. But I think, how the Raps are going to come out, it's coming out with fire. It's the beginning of the season. You've got to just be excited about playing basketball again, competing again. And I always think back to Pascal on Media Day just saying he's so grateful. He's so happy for where he is, coming from where he's come from, and to be playing on this stage, playing in this space, when all the questions were going around about his contract and the situation with the team here.
Let's get to the starters for the Bulls.
A 6'6" forward from USC, number 11, DeMar DeRozan. A 6'7" forward from Florida State, number 44, Patrick Williams. The man in the middle from USC and Montenegro at 6'11", number 9, Nikola Vucevic. From North Carolina, a 6'5" guard, number 0, Kobe White. And a 6'6" guard from UCLA, number 8, Zach LaVine. That's the starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls. The head coach of the Chicago Bulls is Billy Donovan.
All right, Billy Donovan, head coach of the Chicago Bulls, two-time NCAA champion at the University of Florida, was in Oklahoma City, where he worked extensively with Coach Darko Rajakovic, the teacher and the mentor, going against his protege tonight as the Raptors take on the Bulls at the United Center. And a couple of Florida State guys out there. Patrick Williams, drafted 4th overall by Chicago. Scotty Barnes, drafted 4th overall by Toronto. And what I liked about the whole defensive system for Toronto in opening night, Javon, was Scotty guarded just about everybody when he was set to do that. And that's something the Minnesota broadcasters said they loved about him.
Yeah, you love to see that. You love to see the maturity from Scotty coming into this season. And he has that look in his eyes. And I think a part of that is the confidence. He knows that this team, his front office has given him the keys. And the way he's approached the game, he's just far more disciplined. Now, it's a long season, 81 more games to go. And I think just maintaining that level of consistency, maintaining that level of intensity, that was the biggest concern we had with Scotty last year. It was up and down in terms of his play, in terms of intensity. But what I've seen in preseason, in opening night, is he takes every play serious, every possession serious. And with his natural ability on both ends of the floor, if he does that, he's going to be an absolute terror in this league.
The Raptors will wear the traveling black with the Jordan Jumpman logo just above what would be the right breast pocket. Black with red trimming. The Bulls in the classic uniforms that stand the test of time. You can think back to Michael Jordan and Bob Love and almost any Chicago team with the white trimmed in red and Bulls across the front. Chicago wins the tip. They will come front court, right to left. Vucevic gets it to Levine, top of the lane to DeRozan. In the lane, his pass deflected, goes out of bounds. About 4 chairs from Darko Rajakovic on the far side. And Chicago retains possession with 6 on the shot clock.
right away. You see Barnes matched up with Levine. Big-time challenge for him. You know that Levine's a big-time scorer. OG on the weak side, that right side elbow there, just shrinking the court, not allowing Levine to even think about attacking the basket.
Well, Levine will inbound far side. Gets it to DeRozan. Into the corner. Kobe White, 3 off a screen. It's an air ball. Rebound to Pirtle. Here comes Siakam. Now Schroeder. Raptors in the black, moving left to right. Barnes, far side, left wing to Schroeder between the circles. Works near side on the bounce. Got the switch on Patrick Williams. Gets past him, lays it up and in. Dennis Schroeder has one of those smooth gates. He doesn't look like he's moving, but all of a sudden he's past you.
Listen, his change of speed, his change of pace, and change of direction is going to be extremely helpful for this team and their shooting because he forces you to collapse the paint. Guys are going to get wide open shots if he's attacking and scoring like that.
2-0 Raptors. Patrick Williams turns it over. OG drives, reverse layup, up and in. Raptors up 4-0. Pascal with good individual defense on Patrick Williams.
And OG coming up with the basketball, defense to offense, using his body to shoot himself on the layup.
Kobe White down the lane, the pass in close quarters. Tough for Vucevic to handle. Out of bounds, it'll be Toronto basketball.
And this is where I'm talking about with Kobe White. You know, tough shot early coming off the screen. Schroeder does a great job trailing him. And now just a forced turnover in the paint. Just as a point guard, you got to be better at controlling the game.
Raptor ball. Siakam in the lane. First turnover by Toronto. Pirtle tries to find him. It's knocked away. DeRozan back. Far side right wing. Gets it to Levine. Against Barnes. Kicks it near side. White, 3 in the air. No good. Rebound Barnes. 10-13 first quarter. 4-0 Toronto. They come front court. Left to right. Barnes gets it to Pirtle. Far elbow. Left side. Now back to Schroeder. They play screen roll. Pirtle in the lane. Lays it up and in with the left hand. The delivery by Schroeder. It's a 6-0 Toronto lead at the 9:50 mark first quarter.
That's what you get. The defense is going to be in drop coverage. There's going to be pockets for you to make those passes. Schroeder dropping it off, and Pirtle just being aggressive, rolling to the basket for the finish.
Long shot by Williams, no good. Rebound Toronto. Anunoby plays give and go with Barnes, but the pass knocked away as OG looked like he had a lane, but it was knocked away. Levine near side left wing. 9.5 first quarter, 6-0 Raptors. Vucevic above the arc on the angle. Near side left wing. Now turns, spins. Inside the arc to DeRozan. Near corner, drives baseline. Kicks it out. Patrick Williams, 3. Stuffed right back in his kitchen by Scotty Barnes. No, sir, not now.
And great defense, great anticipation. DeRozan's working the baseline, and Barnes just takes up so much real estate on one step. We're talking about he's blocking a shot on the three-point line, Josie. Come on now.
6-0 Toronto. 0.6 of a second to go on the shot clock. And Chicago will inbound far side right wing. Raptors coming off an impressive performance, albeit not scoring-wise, but pretty good in the home opener. DeRozan misses the turnaround. Barnes with the rebound, pushes it front court. Kicks it to Siakam, far side, in front of the Bulls bench. Pascal drives into the lane, floats it up and in. 8-0 Toronto, timeout Chicago, as Toronto strikes quickly. And Chicago and Billy Donovan need to chat.
8-0 start, pushing it. Pascal getting into the paint, splitting the defense, looking at the ref and saying, listen, where's the foul? That's and one. Patrick Williams, he can't stick me.
Let's take a break. Raptors up 8-0. 9 minutes to go, first quarter. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Do more in a reliable Subaru, they said. Enjoy more time together to go more places with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, they said. More award-winning safety for more peace of mind, but to listen to one song over and over again with fantastic acoustics. I love you, family, but the singing. Nobody warned me about the singing.
Hurry to your local Subaru dealer and get more out of every kilometer this fall, including more karaoke. 2-for-1 Pizza is taking it up a nacho with new 2-for-1 nachos and Irish nachos for just $9.99 each. Enjoy the 2-for-1 nachos with corn tortilla chips or try the Irish nachos with potato wedges. Both come loaded with nacho cheese sauce, mozzarella cheese, tomatoes, green peppers, red onions, and jalapeno peppers. Add a large quattro pizza with 4 toppings combined for only $15.99 plus tax. Order online at 2for1pizza.com.
Hey Raptor fans, what's better than the team winning on the court? A win for the kids and a win for you. When you play the MLSE Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you help communities get kids and youth off the sidelines and onto the court. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will you be a winner this season? Only one way to know. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
There's no better way to drive home than with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Overdrive every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
9 minutes, first quarter. At the United Center in Chicago, Raptors leading at 8-0. Paul Jones, Javon Shepard here alongside Jim Taddy and Warren Ward. You'll hear from them with Josh Lewinberg at halftime. Owen Hall, our producer. Matthew Cardadero working the board and making sure the action gets to you wherever you might be listening. And it's good action right now, Javon, if you're a Toronto Raptor fan.
Great action. And I'm sure the Raptors watched Chicago's game against OKC, a team that, one dribble over half and one pass and putting up horrendous shots. But they've come out and really, they're just playing with flow. They're playing with a pop, defending, and that big block by Scotty on the perimeter on Patrick Williams. So guys are going out and they're sticking to the game plan. Like you said, when you're playing man-to-man defense and discipline, you're rewarded.
Chicago ball, front court, in the white, they come right to left. DeRozan in the lane, lays it up and in. DeMar gets to the hoop and gives Chicago its first points of the contest.
One thing for certain, DeMar is still surgical when he gets into that paint. Great footwork.
Raptors up 8-2. Siakam drives, hits Barnes near corner, backs in on Kobe White. Scotty walks him into the paint and scores. He will do that to anybody. Yeah, I don't care if you have LeBron James out there.
Well, that's great recognition, the maturity that we're talking about. He sees he has a matchup on White, and Pascal recognizes it as well. Works the baseline, and gets out of his way.
10-2 Toronto, 8:08 first quarter. Patrick Williams, 3, no good. Rebound to Schroeder. Here come the Raptors front court in the black. Schroeder on the baseline, floats it up, no good. Had a good look, couldn't get it down. Here come the Bulls. Levine has it knocked away by Schroeder. Levine gets it back. Patrick Williams, far side, left wing. Left hand to the middle, pull up 20-footer straight away, no good. Here comes Toronto.
Pascal got lucky with that one, went under the screen, and Patrick Williams got a clean shot. Just didn't have his legs under him.
Does he know that Patrick Williams is 0 for 3 before that, or did he just happen to get lucky?
He got lucky there, because I know this team right now, they want to get over screens, they want to fight.
Pirtle in the lane, the floater up and in. Schroeder delivering with the little off the hip, lay it down. And suddenly Toronto has a 10-point lead at 12-2, 7:09 first quarter.
Well, forget Chicago's offense for a second. They've got to play for some defense. 6 for 7 for Toronto from the floor.
DeRozan near side, left wing, mid-range pull-up on the Bulls logo. Off the lane, no good. Rebound Siakam.
Those shots aren't going to help you. Contested mid-range shots. Tough.
Barnes turns the corner in the lane, lobs it up for Pirtle, lays it up and in. That is pretty basketball by the Raptors.
It's textbook. It's textbook. You get the pick and roll, and Patrick Williams is behind Pirtle. Barnes does a great job just putting enough air on the pass, leading him.
14-2 Toronto, and the Raptors going to be called for a foul there, as Pirtle stood in the lane on the driving Kobe White and was called for the block.
Pirtle, a great job. In pick and roll, you know Scotty's going to look for you. Just hit the screen. As soon as you feel that contact, roll hard to the basket. Patrick Williams, what we were talking about earlier, is you die on those screens. You're giving up opportunities. That's where the advantage is created. You've got to haul it back and get in front of Pirtle.
Gary Trent Jr. checking in. First quarter brought to you by Tangerine. official bank of the Toronto Raptors and their fans.
And I'm sure Gary's looking to have a, more of an impact on the game. Only shot 2 for 8 against Minnesota, so he's going to come out. He's going to be itching to get his hands on the ball and get some good looks open.
Free throws were good for Kobe White. 14-4. Raptors by 10. Trent, 3, no good. Rebound right into the hands of Siakam, who lays it up and in, getting past the block out of Caruso near baseline right side. Raptors up 12, biggest lead of the game at 16-4.
This doesn't look like a team that had a players-only meeting just a couple days ago. This does not look like that type of team right now.
They turned it over. Here comes Toronto. Siakam to Anunoby. Goes to work on Caruso. In the lane, gets it to Pirtle, who floats it up. No good. Rebound, Vucevic. Front court. Here comes Kobe White. Gets into the lane, lays it up and in. Good burst of speed and change of speed there by White to make it 16-6 Toronto. Schroeder, far side left wing. 5.5 to go, first quarter. Toronto by 10. Anunoby drives, and they've got an offensive foul on OG as Kobe White was reading the mail and took it in the chest. They're going to call Anunoby on the offensive foul.
Yeah, Kobe White there. I mean, as soon as OG turned around and squared up, Kobe knew he was going to attack the basket. If you're OG in that situation right there, you have the size advantage against Kobe that only stands at about 6'4". You just back him down.
Yeah,
back him down and let the defense work. If you draw 2, you're moving it out. You've done what you're supposed to. If he plays you one-on-one, that's a bucket. You put him in the hole.
Or you can give it up in post, right? Repost. Jaden McDaniels into the game for Toronto. White in the lane. Finds Vucevic, lays it up and in, and the foul on Pirtle. And the Raptors see the lead cut to 16-8, and Vucevic will go to the line for one more.
And Kobe here, again, using his quickness, and this is what he needs to do. Play to his strengths. You get into the paint, you draw 3 defenders, and you're dropping it down to Vooch. Vooch is he's going to finish at a high rate under the basket. I think Chicago needs to do a better job of involving him early and working the offense through him. But if you can break down the defense and get into that, painted area, then you're going to get some good looks.
Vooch misses the free throw. They battle for it out of bounds. Torrey Craig was in there, and it'll go out of bounds to Chicago.
That's an area the Raptors have to clean up. They gave up 16 offensive rebounds against Minnesota. If that ball comes off the rim, you got to collect it and get out.
They were out-rebounded by the Timberwolves on opening night. Vucevic in the lane, knocked away by Achua. Malachi Flynn also into the game, but Vucevic squares up and knocks it down with the shot clock running down. Raptors up 16-10. Chicago on an 8-2 run the last couple of minutes. Siakam, Achua, Flynn, McDaniels, and Trent on the floor for Toronto. Siakam 3 straight away, short, rebound Caruso. Here comes Chicago. Caruso down low to Vucevic, spins on Siakam, floats it up, no good. Rebound out of bounds, and it'll stay with Chicago.
Chicago right now they're showing some fight. And where is their offense coming from? Where are they looking right now? Right inside to Vooch, like I mentioned. Play inside, outside, especially if you're a perimeter-oriented team that wants to take mid-range jump shots. Create that advantage by moving the ball.
DeRozan kick out, Vucevic 3, no good, long rebound. Malachi Flynn couldn't squeeze it. Goes to Torrey Craig, his corner 3 is good. And all of a sudden, the Chicago Bulls on an 11-2 run have cut the lead. Toronto's up 16-13.
It's a game of runs, 11-2 scoring run for Chicago over the last 3 minutes.
Achua, far side, left wing, above the arc, on the elbow. Dribble handoff to Trent, and they got Precious with an offensive foul on an illegal screen. And that'll give it back to Chicago. Toronto trying to weather the storm right now, Javon.
And this second line, the second unit, they've got to come out, and they've had some time to see how that first 5 has played, right? You've got to come out and have that same intensity be as intentional and just be a bit more disciplined, getting caught on offensive screens.
DeRozan up top on the bounce against Jalen McDaniels. Finds Javon Carter into the lane. Kicks it out. DeRozan, 3, got it near side. We're tied at 16, and now it's Darko Rajakovic's turn to say, stop the train, I need to talk to my team. 14-2 run by the Chicago Bulls, and we are deadlocked at 16 with 3:26 to go first quarter. Let's take a break. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
A big win and a bigger impact. When you play the MLSE Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you support the kids and the future Raptors of tomorrow. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will this season include you? The only way to find out is if you play. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
At Toyota, we build quality vehicles with you in mind. It's not like we're always thinking about you. We're not obsessed or anything. We just know you value your 9 to 5 as much as your 5 to 9. And with the reliable RAV4, Canada's best-selling SUV, you're capable of making the most of both. It's time to make every moment count. It's time at Toyota. Lease a 2023 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive from $97 weekly for 64 months at 7.19% with $3,500 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today. FYI, still thinking about you.
At Public Mobile, we do things differently. From our subscription phone plans to throwing a big sale right now when no one else is. Well, maybe they are, but who cares? Our sale is better. And it's on right now. No waiting necessary. You have the latest phone. Now take advantage of a great price on a 5G subscription phone plan. It's the perfect deal for anyone who could use some savings right now. Subscribe today at publicmobile.ca. Different is calling.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
3:26 first quarter. The Bulls go on a 14-2 run to catch the Raptors and tie the game at 16, and all of a sudden Chicago's turned this thing around, Javon.
Well, Chicago's, they've settled down in the latter part of that first quarter. And for the Raptors, if you're not getting anything in transition and you're not getting anything in the half court, like good shots in the half court, you've got to take care of the basketball. They have 4 turnovers that have led to 7 Chicago points. So again, and I think that was the reoccurring theme or the rollover theme from game 1 against Minnesota is what was the half court offense going to look like? To be expected. There's going to be some miscues. There's going to be, a transition period where because the ball is moving so much and new offense, guys got to get familiar with where they need to be. So you've got to just make sure you're taking care of it and work through the offense. Trust it, side to side, and create your advantages.
Barnes out there with Achua, McDaniels, Trent, and Flynn. Raptors in the black, moving front court from left to right. Achua, dribble handoff. Trent, top of the circle. Kicks it to Flynn, far side. 3 in the air, short. Rebound Caruso. And they got Scotty Barnes reaching in as Caruso breaks out. And the foul will go on Barnes. 3 minutes exactly, first quarter. And the Raptors kind of sputtering a little bit after having a 12-point lead. Vucevic, far block, right side. Backs in, lefty jump hook, no good. Raptors all over the glass. Achua plucks it out of the sky. Here comes Precious on the bounce, front court. Gets it to Trent. Left hand, far side, and they've got the illegal screen again on Achua. Those are 2 cheapies on Precious.
That we always talk about it, Jonesy, when you have a handoff or you have a screener that gets called on those offensive fouls on those screen or moving screens. That's a combination of things. That's the ball handler not waiting for the screen to be set, and the screener's got to understand that you've got to give the defender enough space to get over or make a decision to get over.
Caruso, Andre Drummond out there. Levine, 3 in the air, short. Torrey Craig and Javon Carter, the 5 Bulls on the floor. Caruso, 3, no good. Rebound McDaniels. Here comes Barnes on the run. Chicago hustles back in transition. Barnes gets it to McDaniels. On Craig. Gets it to Barnes between the circles. Far corner. Achua, catch and shoot three, no good. Raptors have gone cold. Here comes Chicago. Minute 57, first quarter. Levine down to the baseline, far side, right wing. Sidestep jumper in the air, good from 20 feet. And Chicago has the lead at 18-16. 1:40, first quarter. Barnes, front court, gets two screens at the top. Now dribbles over to the far side, gets it to Flynn. Against Carter, now to Barnes. Sweeps, drives down to the baseline, kicks it out to Flynn. He gets into the lane, has it knocked away, saves it to Achua. Back to Flynn, and the shot clock expires.
There, Scotty has done, he attracts two, and Flynn does a good job of filling over onto that strong side there. When that ball gets popped out, the next pass is the best pass to play. Flynn's doing a horrible job there of penetrating right back on top of the defense and gets caught.
Well, after the drive and kick, you usually swing and not drive back into the collapsed defense, right, Javon? The rim collapses there as Andre Drummond takes down the rebound and rams it. 20-16, Chicago in the lead, minute to go, first quarter.
That's 7 second chance points for Chicago. Drummond doing a great job of just following the play off of Levine's penetration, comes up with it and just punches it. We got another look at it on our monitor here.
Raptors inbound, near side, right wing. Trent gets it into Barnes. It's knocked away by Torrey Craig, who takes it front court, tries to find a trailing Drummond, but Achua not giving up on the play, knocks it out of bounds. Sloppy turnover on the inbound.
You can see for the Raptors right now, just a lot of discussion, a lot of conversations on the offensive end, trying to inbound that ball off of that zipper cut and just couldn't get inside.
Drummond in the lane, misses the dunk. As the kids would say on the blacktop, get hitch. Caruso in the lane, fall away jumper is good. Chicago on a huge run. They lead this thing now 22-16. It's an 18-0 run over the last 5 minutes. And then Scotty Barnes called on a charge as Caruso stood in.
And you can see that's a frustration one for Scotty. Things aren't going right on the offensive end. And he said, listen, I'm going to take this on myself. Just penetrating left to right on that strong side. Caruso steps outside of the circle there and just sets up shop.
So here comes Chicago with a 6-point lead. Long jumper, no good. They go 2 for 1. The Raptors will bring it front court. 25 seconds, first quarter. Toronto trailing 22-16. Barnes, front court. Raptors 8 of 14, but the turnovers are killing them. Barnes pass knocked away. Here comes Caruso. Drives to the hoop, lays it up and in. Anunoby to Trent at midcourt. 5 seconds to go. Works near side. Loses the handle. Gets it to Anunoby, who jams it down just before the buzzer. And the Raptors can breathe as they got a bucket, but they still trail 24-18 after the first quarter.
Yeah, the last 4 minutes were just very telling. This is how the Raptors crumbled with just the half-court offense. Weren't able to get into anything. And this last minute here, just Scotty took ill-advised, a shot and picked up a charge and came back down, and Caruso made a big-time defensive play. Well, you had 12 minutes of basketball. 6 of them were a little tough. Got to go out and come back into that second one and get some flow, get some juices, get the juices going on the offensive end.
Very, very much tough, as you would say, Javon. 2 points in the last 6:13 in the first quarter. The Raptors surrender the lead, 24-18 Chicago after the first lap, second quarter. When we come back, you're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom, wha-bam, zap, turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
All right, everyone. Step up and down. Left foot, right foot. You're climbing up a trail. Now back in your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and getting active in the real world. Work those abs. Driving right through the mud and left and right. Keep that core engaged and bend at the knees as you load more to your Subaru. Windows down. Take in that outdoor air and park.
Get more value out of every kilometer at your local Subaru dealer, starting with award-winning safety.
Let's get jerseys. Let's get jerseys.
Right now, become a Tangerine client with a savings account, and you could get a free Raptors jersey.
We want jerseys.
Finally, a savings account worth cheering for.
Jerseys. Jerseys.
Find out how to score a jersey at tangerine.ca/Raptors. Tangerine, that's forward banking. Available to new clients who open and fund an eligible account while supplies last. Conditions apply.
Making your lousy commute fun. Overdrive with Hayes Noodles and the O-Dog. Every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Second quarter about to start, and Grady Dick will get some clock time for Toronto as maybe Coach Darko trying to find some offense, and the youngster might be a good place to start. Raptors with the ball. Front court. Anunoby. Out to McDaniels. 3 in the air, no good. Here comes Chicago. Javon Carter. Front court. Gets it to Torrey Craig. Now to Andre Drummond. Caruso on the floor. Far side, right wing. Drives down the lane. Kicks it out to Carter. Javon Carter in the white, wearing one red shoe, one white shoe. Finds Drummond down the lane. His shot contested by Pirtle and no good. Here comes Schroeder, front court to Anunoby. 3 in the air, good. Down the bottom of the well for OG Anunoby. And the Raptors cut the lead to 24-21.
Yeah, and that's a good start for Anunoby in this quarter. Ended the first quarter with a big dunk in transition. Here, Schroeder making a great play cross court to the right wing. And OG walking into it.
Drummond on the putback off the missed shot by Levine. Wide open underneath, and Javon, you mentioned it. Raptors were out-rebounded by Minnesota, and right now the offensive glass is a problem as they're not looking after it.
Well, especially if you have Drummond rolling to the basket when a shot goes up. Somebody's got to put a body on him. He's approaching 10,000 rebounds in his career. So you know that this guy he's going to crash the boards. He's going to be physical. You've got to put a body on him early. Maybe not going to wrestle him under the basket, but somebody's got to touch him up early.
26-21 Chicago. 10.5 to go. Second quarter. Pirtle in the lane. The up and under. Oh, terrific footwork on Drummond. Up and under, faking left, stepping right, floating it in. Raptors cut the lead to 26-23. Pirtle in his bag a little bit. Carter up top. Works to the middle, into the lane, kicks it out. Torrey Craig, 3 near side, no good. Rebound Pirtle. Outlet Schroeder. Schroeder out there with Grady Dick, Jalen McDaniels, OG Anunoby, and Jakob Pirtle. Raptors in the black, coming left to right. Schroeder left hand to the middle, tries to find Pirtle, and it's kicked away by Drummond.
Well, it's easy to see. It's clear to see that this is a completely different team when Schroeder's on the floor. Right, a true point guard, uses his quickness and obviously the ability to find guys. When the Raptors go to that second line, they've got to figure out ways how they can manage the game from that point guard position. Chicago did a great job of just not allowing Scotty to run the ball, throwing 2 at him in transition. And in Flynn, he's got to read the game.
Grady Dick drives baseline, kicks out. McDaniels to Grady. Corner 3, no good. Had a great look, couldn't get it down. Here comes Levine right to left. 9.5 second quarter. Chicago up 26-23. Drummond in the lane, leans in, lowers the shoulder. Pirtle takes it in the chest. We're going the other way with an offensive foul on the UConn Husky, Andre Drummond.
Pirtle put his body on the line for this team here because you can see Drummond gather up and just dip that right shoulder into the chest of Pirtle. That's just knowing your scouting report. He caught it on the roll and just set up shop, and he knew that Drummond was going to dip that shoulder.
Pirtle sets the screen. Schroeder, three, no good. Up top, rebound. Here comes Levine. On the bounce, Levine gets it to Caruso. Far side right wing to Drummond on the elbow. Now kicks it to Carter. Javon Carter, three, far side, short rebound, Grady Dick. Outlet. Schroeder on the run to Grady. Kicks it back. Schroeder up top. Now Grady between the circles. Three in the air, no good. Rebound, Ayo Dosunmu. Kicks it up to Caruso. 8:45 first half. Chicago up 26-23. Levine in the corner. Down the baseline. Runs into Pirtle and gets the foul call.
That's a tough one. I thought he was already out of control and lost his footing when he attacked the basket there. He was searching for one, right? 1 for 6 on the night so far. Lost the ball before he even caught it. Catch it clean. I thought he jumped, getting another look at it. He jumped into Pirtle.
Yeah, he created the contact. I don't think referees will ever call those, Javon. Guy, you know.
Well, let's give him some credit, right? It's a two-time All-Star. Maybe that's a little bit more respect.
Referees tonight, Jason Goebel, Brent Barnaky, and Sayush Mehta. Pirtle checks out, as does McDaniels. Back in come Siakam and Achua.
I think with this lineup here, you can experiment a bit more on the defensive end. Achua moves his feet like a guard as well, so just depending on the matchups.
28-23 Chicago. 8:35 clock running first half. Raptors in the black coming left to right. Schroeder to Anunoby. On the bounce, Schroeder into the lane, kicks to OG. Three ball on the wing, no good. Rebound, Kobe White. Hit ahead to Levine, far side, right wing. Against Grady. Left hand to the middle, kicks to Kobe White into the near corner. Dosunmu punches in, pull up. 12-footer is good by the Illinois grad. 30-23, biggest lead of the game for Chicago at 7. Schroeder gets it to Siakam on Kobe White, far corner left side, and we've got an illegal defense as Pascal was looking at a team picture of the Chicago defense.
They were sitting there loading up. They got the matchup they wanted, that switch, and Pascal's posting up Kobe White there.
So Schroeder will step to the line to shoot the free throw. Misses it. So Toronto gives one back. Actually, they leave one on the board. And Chicago still leads by 7 with 7:54 to go first half. Anunoby can't get it in. 5-second count. Turn it over and give it to Chicago.
That Jonesy, that's the 10th turnover for the Raptors. That is early part of this second quarter.
Got to stay out of the bakery, man. It's not good for you.
Well, fortunately here, Chicago gives it right back. Dead ball turnover.
30-23 Chicago, 7:46 to go first half. Second quarter is brought to you by Alpine Credits. Do you own your home and need a loan? Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca. Schroeder up top, left side. Lobs it up to Achua. It's too far. DeRozan tight ropes the baseline and brings it front court up the left side near wing. Kicks it to Vucevic. To White. Into the corner. DeRozan. Mid-air. The pass to White. Now down low. Vucevic near block. Kicks it out. Dosunmu drives. Lays it up. No good. Rebound Toronto. Good block out by Achua. Here comes Grady front court to Siakam. Gets it to Achua. Precious now to Schroeder. 7 minutes first half. Toronto down 7. OG drives, spins in the lane, kicks it out top. Schroeder to Anunoby. 3 in the air, short. Rebound Kobe White. Good ball movement. OG didn't have his feet under it.
Yeah, and he didn't really catch the ball clean. Just really tossed it up there.
Kobe White drops in a three. Chicago up 10, 33-23, their biggest lead of the game.
And right now, Toronto's really struggling from the three-point line, 1 for 11. And you can see Chicago's packing the paint, switching, and just really not playing Toronto out at the three-point line, almost daring them to take it.
Schroeder three, in and out. 6:20 to go. The Raptors have scored 7 points in the last 13 minutes of clock time. Kobe White drives, fouled by Achua. Javon, you go back to the first quarter, and Toronto scored its 16th point on a basket at 6:13, a Pascal layup. We're 6:15 into the second quarter, and they only have 7 points.
So they've got to find ways to keep themselves motivated. Since preseason up until opening night, they've been moving the basketball, shots have been dropping. Now you're in a situation where there's a lid on the basket. Well, when you're not scoring baskets easy in transition, when you're not scoring baskets easy in the half court, are you going to maintain your level of enthusiasm and playing some inspiring defense on the other end?
Let's take a break. Chicago up 10, 33-23, 6:15 first half. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
Picture this. You're asleep. Deep sleep. Perfectly still. Blissfully calm. But then your partner starts to toss and turn, and you don't even notice. At Sleep Country, sleep experts like me are here to help you fall asleep and stay asleep no matter the disturbance with our wide assortment of motion control mattresses.
Right now at the Do Not Disturb event, get a queen mattress for the hot price of $4.99 until Wednesday. Only at Sleep Country.
Hockey season's back, and you know what that means. There's going to be more. More? And thanks to Hyundai's Breakaway Sales event, even more. So come celebrate the new hockey season and break away with the new Hyundai. New vehicles arriving daily, so order yours today. Conditions apply. Vehicle availability varies by model. Visit HyundaiCanada.com or your local dealer for details.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows on your smart speaker. Simply tell your smart speaker to listen to TSN 1050 everywhere you want it.
.6:15 first half, 33-23. Chicago leading Toronto. The Raptors, after a great start where they had a 12-point lead, have seen things go the other way and go south on them, as they are a minus 22 after being up by 12. Wow.
Yeah, and one taking care of the basketball, the offensive rebounds. But right now, Pascal's only shot 3 shots. I want to see Pascal with the ball in his hands a bit more, especially when you're in a situation where lid's on the basket, you're not getting any fluid looks, and even the open shots just aren't not able to knock them down. Well, get the ball to your best scorer and find some ways to, get him some shots, get him some opportunities, put the ball on the floor, be expressive, be creative himself, because he has a natural knack to put the ball in the hole.
Kobe White on the free throw line, knocks down 2 free throws. The youngster has 8 points now to lead all scorers in the ball game, well, tied with Pirtle. But Chicago, more importantly in the bigger scheme, leads 35-23. Raptors in the lane, try to lob it to Barnes. It's picked off. Here comes Chicago.
Chicago doing a great job helping on that roll to the basket, just anticipating the lob. The right play may have been to the left corner for the 3.
Vucevic in the lane is fouled. And they've got it on McDaniels. So the Raptors, Javon, no other way to put it, they're kind of leaking oil right now.
Yeah, leaking.
Chicago will inbound, far side, right wing. Ayo Dosunmu. does the honors, gets it to DeRozan. Vucevic, Williams, and White, the other Bulls on the floor. DeRozan into the corner near side, Williams. Now to Vucevic, left block, near side, drives on Barnes, floats it up, no good. Misses the tip, no good, and Scotty grabs the rebound. Toronto in transition. Scotty kicks it out to Siakam. Over to McDaniels. Open three near side, no good. Long rebound, Trent. Kicks it out, Siakam, three in the air. Missed everything. McDaniels with the rebound. Finds Trent in the lane, into the corner. McDaniels catch and shoot three, no good. Three good looks coming up empty for Toronto.
Great looks, and you got to stay confident. You got to keep taking those as they come. Toronto 1 for 15 from the three-point line.
And DeRozan comes back and says, here's how you do it. Knocks a three in, and Chicago's lead is 14 at 37-23. It's a long two by DeRozan. Trent up top. On the bounce, kicks it into the near corner. McDaniels drives into the lane, kick out. Trent three, no good. Raptors having their issues from distance right now. They are 1 of 16. Vucevic to DeRozan. 4.5 to go, second quarter. DeRozan to White to Williams. His three is good. Chicago up 40-23. 17-point lead. And it might as well be 30 the way the Raptors are sputtering offensively, Javon.
It's just tough right now. And truth be told, some of the looks that the Raptors are getting on the offensive end, they're clean, open looks, right? Just not able to knock them down. You got to step into those shots with conviction. Somebody's got to step up and just say, I want this, right? This is my shot. I'm knocking it down.
Trent drives, kicks it to Schroeder. Pull-up jumper, free throw line, no good. Rebound, Williams. Quick hit ahead. Dosunmu lays it up and in. 19-point lead, 42-23 Chicago. Where has the Raptors offense gone? Siakam fouled near side right wing just at the bend of the arc by Patrick Williams. And Toronto really having its issues on the offensive end.
Yeah, you could see some guys are thinking before they shoot the basketball and almost a little bit too unselfish. You know, that slight pause of should I pass it, should I shoot it, or should I attack? Well, that ball pops in your hands. You got to play with some conviction. And now we're getting our first sighting of Chris Boucher, and you know he's a guy that's not going to come in and be shy with it at all.
Brings the energy into the ball game with Trent, Barnes, Anunoby, and Siakam. Barnes in the lane has it blocked by Vucevic. Here comes DeRozan. DeMar, Euro step, loses it out of bounds, off his leg, out of bounds to Toronto.
That attack, that possession right before Scotty had the matchup in the post. He goes up strong, but uses that inside hand right in this, into the chest of Vucevic, who ends up blocking the shot there. He extends with that left hand and uses his right shoulder to protect himself. That's an easy bucket. That 7'3" wingspan, nobody's touching it.
The Michigan Daily dozen, right? Left hand hook, right hand baby hook around the basket. Boucher to Anunoby. And they've got an offensive foul. It'll go on Chris Boucher. Brent Barnaky, the official, signaling it like he was putting hands on somebody's lower back. Chris with a quizzical look on his face, saying, where's the foul? Here comes Chicago. Levine front court, 3:15 first half, 42-23 Chicago by 19. Vucevic's pass, the pass for Vucevic from Levine, out of bounds, give it to Toronto. .309 to go, first half. Thanks for tuning in wherever you might be listening across the TSN network as the Raptors try to get on the board. They've had a tough time. Trent, three, far side, no good. Rebound knocked away. Trent again. Kicks it out to Siakam. Pascal drives, loses it. Knocked out of bounds, though. It'll stay with Toronto.
And I'm still okay with that attack by Pascal. You get two there, but if he's attacking to his strong hand downhill, you're going to collapse that defense. You got to kick out on the possession before you get it back. Fortunately for Chicago, they get a hand on this.
Let's take a break. 2:49 to go, first half. 42-23, Chicago in the lead. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
2-for-1 Pizza is taking it up a nacho with new 2-for-1 nachos and Irish nachos for just $9.99 each. Enjoy the 2-for-1 nachos with corn tortilla chips or try the Irish nachos with potato wedges. Both come loaded with nacho cheese sauce, mozzarella cheese, tomatoes, green peppers, red onions, and jalapeno peppers. Add the 2-for-1 special featuring 2 medium pizzas with 4 toppings combined for only $20.99 plus tax. Order online at 2for1pizza.com.
Hey Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
When Ottawa's proposed electricity regulations make electricity unaffordable, you may have to make some hard choices.
Winter boots for my kids.
Groceries for my family.
Our mortgage.
My rent. Braces.
A rainy day fund.
Visit tellthefeds.ca to learn why your power bill could be 4 times higher than today. And tell the feds, affordable and reliable electricity matters. A message from the Government of Alberta.
First up with Korolnik and Koliakovo, weekday morning 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
You ain't first, you're last.
Where has the offense gone for the Raptors? 11 of 31, 1 for 17 from distance as they limp toward halftime, trailing 42-23. Chicago with the 19-point lead after a slow start themselves. And they have picked it up, shooting the ball at 41%, which looks like a lottery win compared to the way the Raptors are shooting. Halftime, you'll hear from Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, and Josh Lewinberg. Paul Jones, Javon Shepard here behind the glass, our producer, Owen Hall, and our board operator, technical producer, Matt Cardadero. Raptor ball, front court, in the black, moving left to right. They inbound on the baseline. Boucher out there with Barnes, Anunoby, Siakam, and Trent. Pascal, mid-range pull-up jumper, got it, 18-footer near elbow. Raptors finally get one down. They trail 42-25.
Yeah, and right now, you've got to milk Pascal a bit. If he's going to have Vooch on him, if he's going to be able to get that switch, then he's going to be able to attack or pull up like he just did. And I mentioned it earlier, your best scorer, he's got to touch it, especially when the team's not flowing and nothing's dropping.
Kobe White, far elbow, right side. Gary Trent sticking him. DeRozan, pull-up jumper over Anunoby, no good. In and out, rebound Barnes. Raptors trying to push. Scotty finds a running Boucher, floats it up and in, and he'll go to the line for one more. Chris Boucher says, I'm finally out with money in my pocket to go shopping, and I got 2 and a coupon for one more.
And you get that rebound, and Scotty, 2 dribbles, sees Chris running the court, and a great job rim running by Boucher. This is why he's on the court. This is where he checks in when he's at his best, when he's at his strengths, is just running the floor, making energy plays. Great job gathering himself in the center of the key and finishing with concentration through the contact.
So Boucher makes it the old-time three-point play, and the Raptors cut it to 42-28. DeRozan up top. On the bounce, hedge and recover. Anunoby guarding him, they knock it away. Here comes Toronto, 3-on-2, broken floor. Siakam drives. Oh, and they've got an offensive foul as Kobe White took the foul. I really thought he was still sliding, but they're going to give the foul to Siakam. Oh, boy. We get the replay. That's a good challenge. That's a good challenge. He was sliding.
He was still sliding there. Pascal pleading his case with the officials.
Back in the day, Javon, that's a no doubt a block. That's a no doubter. But
yeah, you got to be there and actually set your feet. And Kobe, he was still moving. He was still on the way. And Pascal had another decision there to make, just kicking it out to the right. with Chris Boucher in the corner.
Javon, what we don't see now is the classic fast break basketball.
The call on the floor is an offensive foul on Siakam. Coach's challenge.
What we don't see, you heard Jason Goebel giving you the goods there, is the old-time 3-on-2 drill, right?
3-on-2, yep.
Ball in the middle, run the 2 lanes. I used to put for my grade school kids 2 big cutout footprints like fatheads on the free throw line. Jump stop at the free throw line and find a wing guy.
Find a wing, or if Boucher and Gary are on the perimeter, then as soon as you get to the break, you're cutting to the basket, and you've got a dump down to one of those guys for a layup.
Hey.
But this modern day game is run to the 3-point line, and so you can't take nothing away from those guys.
All I know is if I'm running the floor and I got Warren Ward on one side, Javon on the other, I'm giving it the Magic Johnson. I'm looking pretty, and I'm dishing it off, and there's a dunk, and I'm running back, and I'm not taking a charge like that, though.
Warren knows I don't pass it, so throw it up. If it comes to me, it's going up. I promise you guys that much. You can drop it off, but
well, Warren might give it back to me if I slide over to the elbow like the drill for that 17-footer. You know,
we'll hear from him at half. But I think Warren's a guy that would run to the 3-point line. He was a pretty big time.
Come on, who are we kidding? Warren's shooting that thing 6 ways to Sunday. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Listen, if you want to get it back, don't give it to me. I promise you.
After review, the challenge is successful. White is still moving laterally, therefore making a blocking foul. It will be Toronto's ball, side out. The challenge is successful, so Toronto will have a second challenge and retain their timeout.
All right, good explanation there by Jason Goebel with the new rule. You keep your timeout, you get another challenge, and they're both gone no matter what now. Like you get one more challenge and the timeout is gone.
Right, and I like that, the change to the rules there, because in a case like this, right, you would have lost your timeout, you would have lost your everything.
And your striped shirt looks good because we got the call right. Raptors will inbound, near side, right wing. Barnes gets it to Boucher. Finds Siakam on the dribble handoff. Kicks it to Anunoby. 3-ball, far side, no good. Rebound, Vucevic. Good possession, couldn't get it down. Here comes Chicago. Offensive foul on Chicago.
How many offensive that's about 4 of them that we've seen, 3 or 4 of them that we've seen today already.
I count 3. It's a point of emphasis, I guess, making sure that the screener is steady. Raptors will bring it front court. They trail 42-28. Boucher on the elbow. Jumper in the air, no good. Rebound DeRozan. Minute 20, first half. Levine drives, lays it up, no good. Under duress from Siakam and Boucher. Here comes Barnes. Finds Anunoby cutting in. There it is, Warren. There it is, Javon. The angle cut on the bounce pass for the lay-in. Ball in the middle. Classic fast break deuce.
And how simple was that, right? You 3-on-2, you drop it off, you get a layup. Everybody knows that's a high percentage shot. And then you're back on defense, in position.
42-30. Vucevic floater, no good. Trent with the rebound. Raptors can cut it to 10, maybe 9 with a 3. 45 seconds, first half. Barnes in the lane. Backs in on White. Kick out. Trent, 3 in the air. Bang, bang, down the bottom of the well for Gary Trent Jr. The Raptors finishing with a flurry. They've cut the lead to 9.
Simple basketball. The pick and roll action. Scotty slips the screen. Gary drops it inside. Scotty draws 2 and kicks out for the 3.
White, 3, air ball. Rebound Siakam. 25 seconds, first half. Raptors have cut the 15-point lead to 9. Siakam on the dribble. Just inside the timeline. Moving left to right. Torrey Craig guarding him. They get it to Trent. Shot clock at 8. Game clock at 11. Siakam up top. Gets a Boucher screen. Squares on Vucevic. Euro into the lane. Floats it up. No good. Barnes with the putback up and in. Toronto cuts the lead to 7. 42-35. Chicago will have 2 seconds to come the length of the court. Kobe White, his own side of center, no good. Raptors finish with a little shoe shine flurry and cut the lead to 42-35.
Little shoe shine flurry, and they played some good basketball. They got it, they ran the ball, got some easy plays in transition, some 3-on-2 basketball, some traditional ball. And then in the half court, you've seen some good things. Inside, outside game, dropping it into Scotty in the post, kicking it out. You're getting Gary going. But this is the type of play you need, right? They were getting some good shots early. You know it's a matter of time before they start dropping.
I hear you, Javon. A little traditional, old-fashioned basketball, like the gray pants and the blue blazer in Jim Taddy's wardrobe never goes out of style. You'll hear from Jim Taddy and Warren Ward and Josh Lewenberg. It's halftime. Chicago 42, Toronto 35. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
The secret to my super strength? A mega-calorie diet. And my super strong muscles are exactly what Ann and Kate needed. They wanted a backyard with a tiki bar. You know the vibe. They were approved for a home renovation loan. And I got these powerful hands dirty. Their backyard is now glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Does your furnace have a habit of breaking down as soon as it gets cold outside? And your plans for a relaxing night at home turn cold, along with your toes? Not good. Luckily, a highly trained licensed Intercare technician can get your furnace fixed fast. And what we quote is what you pay. So don't get left out in the cold. And right now, get a free diagnostic checkup, a $99 value. Get your furnace fixed right with Intercare. Terms and conditions apply. Give your home more at intercare.ca.
Ontario has never invested more in student success. We're hiring thousands of new educators to work alongside some of the best paid teachers in Canada, right here in Ontario. We're investing in new reading and math supports and spending billions to upgrade and build state-of-the-art schools. Students are back in classrooms with their friends where they belong, so they learn the skills they need now for the jobs of the future. Learn more at ontario.ca/investing in students. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Which internet technology is way faster than cable?
Bell Pure Fiber Internet.
Correct. Which internet technology is the most reliable?
Bell Pure Fiber Internet.
Yes. Which internet service can you get for an amazing price?
Bell Pure Fiber Internet.
Get Bell Pure Fiber, Canada's fastest internet and Wi-Fi, starting from $70 a month. Visit bell.ca/UCLA for more details and to check availability. Bell, internet just got better.
Look at you, exercising again.
Well, I just walked the dog.
And Healthy Planet salutes you for living healthy.
Or should I say, he walked me.
So, keep it going and shop Healthy Planet, where everyday people live healthy every day. From healthy foods and natural vitamins to in-house nutritionists, Healthy Planet has been your healthy choice for over 25 years. Shop in-store.
Who knew pugs were so strong?
Or healthyplanetcanada.com, your one-stop health shop with everyday value.
Immerse yourself in the beauty of Canada at CF Toronto Eaton Centre's new Canadian Chroma experience. Come explore the vibrant colors of Canada through 5 interactive exhibits that take you on a journey through the Canadian seasons, landscapes, and a celebration of Indigenous art. Check out Canadian Chroma, presented by CF, a free exhibit open daily at the north end of CF Toronto Eaton Centre. Visit cftorontoeatoncentre.com for more info.
Tangerine Raptors basketball is on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
Kicks it out. Patrick Williams, 3, stuffed right back in his kitchen by Scotty Barnes. No, sir, not now.
And great defense, great anticipation. DeRozan's working the baseline, and Barnes just takes up so much real estate on one step. We're talking about he's blocking a shot on the three-point line, Jonesy. Come on now.
Wow, what a half of that basketball. That was 42-35 for the Bulls over the Raptors, and getting there was all the fun. Welcome to the halftime show. Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, and Josh Lewenberg with you. So, I mean, we're going to get into some serious numbers later on, but the Raptors opened 14-2 on that run, and then the response is a 40-9 run by the Bulls, responded to by the Raptors on a 12-0 run to wrap up the quarter. I mean, the half. This, Warren, was absolutely bizarre. The Raptors started out all right and then just had a giveaway parade and finally got back into it.
Listen, I think it's safe to say, Tapman, we've seen
both sides of what the Raptors can be. I mean, that first few minutes, I was like, oh, okay, like this is real. Like, you know, you go on a 14-2 run in the first, start the game. I'm thinking things are going very well. Dennis Schroeder, first possession of the game, driving to the rim. Second possession, they get a stop, a bucket in transition. And I'm like, okay, this is things are taking off. And then the bench comes in a bit, which is an issue. I like the fact that Darko was willing to go down his bench and play guys, but at the same time, you go on a 22-4 run for the opposition, and the Bulls didn't get their first bucket until 8:44 in that first quarter. And since after that, they just completely outscored the Raptors up until that 12-0 run. So we saw a bit of both. We saw the good, and then we saw literally the ugly side of things. And outside shooting is going to be an issue all season long. I mean, Josh said it earlier on in the show, but we can clearly see that outside shooting is not going to be maybe the strong suit. If they get hot, great. To take 18 threes is great, but to make one, no. That's not going to get it done.
Yeah, for most of the half, the Raptors had as many coaches challenge wins as they had made threes. That was rough. Gary Trent hit a three towards the end of the half, but yeah, two for 19. We said it before the game, like they're probably not going to shoot 40% from three, but ideally you want to split the difference between 40% and what is this? 11%.
I was going to say 12. Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about this as well. It's like the 0.5 basketball. It's intriguing, and if nothing else, like I think when it goes well, for sure, like it's going to be more fun to watch. Great news for us, great news for Raptors fans, but when it's not going well, it's going to look something like this because, as we know, when you're moving the ball, you're making quick decisions, the obvious risk to that, the obvious downside is you're more prone to turnovers, and we saw quite a bit of that in the first half, 13 turnovers leading to 13 Bulls points, and then the bench. And I mean, right now, like at least for most of that first half, the only people that were having fun watching were Bulls fans and probably Nick Nurse sitting in his hotel room somewhere in Toronto saying, I told you so. Because let's face it, like he wasn't overplaying the starters because he wanted to burn those guys out. We've talked about this. Is he rightly or wrongly didn't have trust in some of those guys coming off the bench. Now, as always, it's a chicken and the egg thing, right? Like, do you need to play those guys consistently, get them reps, get them run in order for them to show that they can develop and grow and earn that trust? Or are they supposed to just, I don't know, earn that trust out of the gate in practice or whatever it is and show that they deserve those minutes? I'm not like we're not going to judge the bench based on 1.5 games here. I do think, and the plan for Darko here is to give those guys that leash, to give those guys that run over a long period of time to try and see what they've really got in these guys. But I'll tell you, like, they've got to be better than this because the starters, as we said, they came out hot. They ended the first half hot, but the bench, they've got to do a better job of at least treading water during their minutes.
Yeah, it's I think we were looking for that the sort of the typical Raptors effort that we saw in Game 1 and through all of training camp, but the bench certainly with 6 points. That's a bit of a problem, and you sort of revisit what happened last year with different people involved. It just the turnovers were just remarkable. I mean, that's a bad. People wouldn't be happy with 13 for 13 at the end of the game, let alone 9 in the first quarter. I mean, they just stopped and then found their way. There's plenty of basketball left, Warren, but boy, it's an uphill climb.
Yeah, exactly. And you're. It's only 2 games. That's the positive side, but on the other side of that, it's habits, and I think when you're asking players to do a bit more, and this 1-5 offense, you're asking guys to put the ball on the floor, and when you do that and you speed the game up, that's going to cause turnovers, unfortunately. So you have to live with that, but at the same time, you can't have turnovers and shoot the ball poorly. You got to pick one. So I think 2 threes and a half, okay, you can live with it because you close the gap in the lead. But if this was a better team, because Chicago, again, they're not a super great team defensively, and even offensively they're not great, but the Raptors have struggled with that. And I think moving forward in terms of habits, as I said earlier, this is not a great habit to have. We've seen the high turnovers even in preseason. So now that this counts, that's going to be something that they're going to have to lessen, figure out a way, and at the same time find some sort of consistency shooting the basketball, because if you can't shoot in this league, you're not going to win.
Yeah, I mean, this was the story all of last year too, right? Is like, especially in 2023, like if you're not shooting the ball well, if you don't have enough shooters on your roster, it's not that you can't win games necessarily, but the margin for error is so small that you need to be excellent, elite in some of these other things in order to mask the deficiencies from beyond the arc. And I think, listen, the Raptors shot well in game one, but I wouldn't say their half-court offense was pristine or anything like that, but they made up for some of those things that were a bit clunky with the offense against Minnesota through sheer will, like effort and energy on defense in transition, and that's what's missing today. Like, they can win this game shooting poorly. Obviously, it would be great if they could knock down some shots in the second half. They can win this game, especially considering that, like, they're right in it here, 7 points, but they need to turn things up defensively, start forcing turnovers, find a way to generate easy points if those shots aren't falling. You're not going to win this game if you're not shooting the ball well, not defending well, and not finding ways to get out in transition. That's just not a recipe for success. Not for last year's team, and it won't be for this year's team either.
The Raptors' first half stat is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Hurry to your local Subaru dealer to get more out of every kilometer this fall, including more karaoke. And the numbers jump off the page. The Raptors outside shooting 2 of 19. Remember, it was 40% in the opener. And the turnovers, 9 for 13 points in the first quarter. At the half, it's 13 turnovers for 13 points. With the 12-0 run at the end of the half, the Raptors trail 42-35. The second half is next. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050.
Hey, Raptor fans. What's better than the team winning on the court? A win for the kids and a win for you. When you play the MLSE Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you help communities get kids and youth off the sidelines and onto the court. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will you be a winner this season? Only one way to know. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
2-for-1 Pizza is taking it up a nacho with new 2-for-1 nachos and Irish nachos for just $9.99 each. Enjoy the 2-for-1 nachos with corn tortilla chips or try the Irish nachos with potato wedges. Both come loaded with nacho cheese sauce, mozzarella cheese, tomatoes, green peppers, red onions, and jalapeno peppers. Add a large quattro pizza with 4 toppings combined for only $15.99 plus tax. Order online at 2for1pizza.com.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I run at sonic speeds, but I'm not as quick as the fastest computer. And that's exactly what Sam needed. She runs an IT firm and needed an upgrade. Within 24 hours, she was approved for a business loan. After, I stuck around to play some online games. My legs might be fast, but my thumbs, even faster.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Picture this. You're asleep. Deep sleep. Perfectly still. Blissfully calm. But then your partner starts to toss and turn, and you don't even notice. At Sleep Country, sleep experts like me are here to help you fall asleep and stay asleep no matter the disturbance with our wide assortment of motion control mattresses.
Right now at the Do Not Disturb event, get a queen mattress for the hot price of $4.99 until Wednesday. Only at Sleep Country. TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream us on iHeartRadio, the TSN app, or on Apple CarPlay. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Third quarter about to get going. Toronto Raptors, as you heard at halftime, good start, good finish. Stuff in the middle, throw it away. Couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat in the middle of the first and second quarter, but that said, we have another half to play. And the third quarter, and the action is delivered by 2-for-1 Pizza. 2-for-1 Pizza is taking it up a nacho with new 2-for-1 nachos and Irish nachos for just $9.99 each. Call 2-for-1 0241. Well, 2 for 1. Raptors would say, give me a 3. Never mind the 2. The 2 and the 1 adding up to a 3. They've made one more shot than each of Javon and I and Owen and Matt Cardadero and Warren and Taddy, although I heard Taddy could shoot it. And Lewinberg, 2. That's it. 2 for 19 from distance in the first half. Hopefully that changes. They have the ball to start the third quarter, coming front court, right to left. Siakam in the lane, misses a layup, and it's knocked away by Chicago. Would have been a great start. That's a great play coming out of the locker room, Javon.
Well, the bright side to that first half as well, Jonesy, is the fact that they ended the half on a 12-0 run, and there you go. You get a nice turnover. Pascal playing some great defense on Patrick Williams. And you see in the last 2 minutes of that half there, playing the game the right way and guys stepping into shots. If Dark was going to go with a 10-man rotation, guys better take advantage of it now.
Well, Raptors turn it over at the other end. Pirtle goes airborne, tried to kick it out. It was picked off. Here comes Chicago. DeRozan, Williams, Levine, White, and Vucevic. In the white, coming from left to right. Vucevic squares up his jumper, no good. Barnes with the rebound, sprints up the middle of the floor. Works over to the far side, right wing, down to the block. Kicks it to Pirtle, up top. Schroeder sets for a 3, no good. Rebound, Levine. Third quarter just underway, minute 15 in. Chicago up 42-35. Levine to White, turns the corner into the lane, kick out. DeRozan, 3, no good. Standing rebound, Siakam. Kick ahead to Barnes. Scotty wheels into the lane, finds Anunoby for the dunk, but they're going to say Scotty was out of control, and it's a charge as he ran over DeRozan.
And that was the right call there. DeRozan, seeing Scotty pushing the ball, made the spin almost look reminiscent of Damon Stoudemire. He used to have that spin coming through the paint. But DeRozan, the vet move there, just setting up shop, planting his feet solid. And like you mentioned, not moving, not sliding, there forces the contact.
DeRozan, far side, left wing, finds Vucevic, far block, box down on Pirtle. The jump hook, no good, rebound Toronto. Schroeder, front court. Off to Barnes, back to Schroeder. They play screen and roll the middle of the floor. They get it down to Barnes on the switch against Kobe White. Scotty sweeps, walks him down to the block, one more dribble, and banks it in.
But even before that, he called his own number there, knew that he was going to get the matchup on Kobe White there, just called the screen with Schroeder, got it, and just quick attack off of the catch.
Vucevic, 3 up top, no good, rebound Siakam. Raptors have the lead at 5. Here comes Pascal, drive, floats it up and in, and a foul on Patrick Williams. Pascal says, give me 2, and I'm not done yet. Going to the line for the old-time three-point play.
Time to roll, right? Patrick Williams' feet stuck in mud, and Siakam getting to that strong hand, taking the contact, and just putting enough air on the ball and getting himself to the line for one more. But again, the last 2 plays, what do you have? Aggressive, assertive attacks by Pascal and Scotty.
42-40, the Raptors have cut the lead to 2. Here comes Chicago front court. 9:25, third quarter. White working on Schroeder. Now gets it to Levine. To Vucevic. Swing it to Kobe White. Deep 3, far side. Rattles, doesn't go. Rebound Pirtle. Toronto with a chance to tie or lead with a 3. Schroeder, far side. Plays screen and roll with Anunoby. Up top to Barnes.
Just the same attack, that same.
Lob it down low to Anunoby. Underneath. OG lays it in, and he's fouled. He's going to go to the line for a chance at one more. The Raptors with a 7-0 run coming out of the locker room, and OG says, hold on, we might be pushing it one more.
This is barbecue chicken. It's the same play, the same action. OG gets a screen with Schroeder and has the matchup with Kobe White on him again. Dump into the post, right? You swung the ball to Scotty, and Scotty with the recognition, the awareness to say no. Fling it right back over, get the ball in the post and take advantage of this. Punish the smaller defender.
OG misses the free throw, so we're tied at 42 with 8:50 to go. New ball game, third quarter. Patrick Williams on the dribble into the lane. Kick to Levine, shot fake, drives, runs into Schroeder, offensive foul. Schroeder sitting on his wallet, pointing with his left hand. looking like a Discovery statue saying, I'm going that way.
Going the other way. Cash me out. And Levine, again, attacking. You know he wants to score. You know he wants to attack. He's 1 for 6 on the night. If he touches the ball in the second half, he's going to want to get his numbers. Schroeder, a vet in this game, seeing Levine's eyes light up. Listen, I got to get a charge. I need this one, big fella.
Siakam back to Schroeder. Back to Siakam, working on Kobe White. Backs in. Kick out to Schroeder. On the bounce, Dennis gets to the basket. Lay it up. No good, but he's fouled. Man, Dennis Schroeder, he's faster than gossip. Yeah. The man is quicker than bad news going around the world.
What was that one again, Joe? He was faster than gossip?
Faster than gossip.
Ooh. Yeah, he got Patrick Williams there, and his feet were stuck in quicksand. Right to left, change of direction, and right there just blew by him, picked up the foul, and again gets himself to the free throw line. You can just see the team right now just picking up the momentum, picking up the pace, and just has Chicago on their heels right now.
Timeout, Chicago. Raptors with a lead. It's 8-0 coming out the gate to start the third quarter. And Billy Donovan wants to talk. 43-42 Toronto. 8:29 third quarter. A free throw for Schroeder when we come back. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
A big win and a bigger impact. When you play the MLSE Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you support the kids and the future Raptors of tomorrow. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will this season include you? The only way to find out is if you play. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
At Public Mobile, we do things differently. From our subscription phone plans to throwing a big sale right now when no one else is. Well, maybe they are, but who cares? Our sale is better. And it's on right now. No waiting necessary. You have the latest phone. Now take advantage of a great price on a 5G subscription phone plan. It's the perfect deal for anyone who could use some savings right now. Subscribe today at publicmobile.ca. Different is calling.
Overdrive, Toronto's favorite way to drive home. Weekdays 4 to 7 on TSN 1050.
Compliments of an 8-0 run. The Raptors have put their nose in front with 8:29 to go, third quarter. 43-42 Toronto. And Javon, listen, with both teams now, I know Chicago had that 15-point lead, but 15 turnovers by Toronto, giving Chicago 13 points. And that first half was a rock fight.
It was a rock fight, and you can see Toronto coming out in the second half, and sometimes less is more. And what they're doing right now is just really picking out Kobe White and taking advantage of that matchup. And it's simple. You're right. You have 6'8", 6'7", 6'9", and you have that matchup right there. That is barbecue chicken. That's fried chicken. You get them into post. It's time to work. That's it. Nothing else.
I know some teams call that on their scouting report, the pigeon. We got a pigeon. We got a pigeon.
You got a small fry.
Yeah, a small one.
Small fry. When you see that offensive player catch that ball and he claps that ball between his palms, you know it's time to go.
Schroeder
look for that weak side.
Schroeder makes the second free throw coming out of the timeout. The Raptors up 44-42. 8:20 clock running, third quarter. White turns the corner to Vucevic, into the corner to Levine. Three, no good. All Toronto on the glass. Here comes Schroeder. Quick hit ahead to Barnes. Scotty in the lane. Backs down on DeRozan. Turnaround jumper is no good, but it's foul. He's fouled as he spun on DeMar. And Scotty will go to the line for a couple of free throws. The Raptors only 4 of 6 from the line tonight, but they're going to get 2 more right here.
But look how fast they go from defense to offense on that possession. Get a rebound. Schroeder's pushing the ball. Scotty's running that right wing and then gets right to his post up. against DeRozan, and you can just tell that 9 pounds of muscle that Scotty put on over the offseason, he has no respect for anybody that's in front of him. That's DeMar that he saw and said, okay, this is a matchup that I want in the post. Gets himself to the free throw line for 2, knocks them both down.
46-42. Raptors with the 4-point lead at the 8-minute mark, third quarter. DeRozan up top. Finds Vucevic, kicks to the far corner. Kobe White weaves into the lane. The running hook, no good, knocked away. Caruso saves the loose ball to DeRozan. 1 on the shot clock. DeRozan drives, lays it up and in. Had to get it up because the shot clock was running down, and DeMar got 2 for Chicago.
So crafty. He uses his shoulder and bounces off of OG to give himself that extra burst at the rim.
Raptors up 46-44. Pirtle. As now Kobe White sitting on the bench with a better defender, Caruso, in the game. Oh, sorry, they've switched. So now Caruso is in a lot of those actions.
Well, now you said it, right? You're picking up one of those guys, Caruso or Kobe White. We're getting another look at DeRozan attacking the basket.
Ooh.
Bounces off of.
Ooh, maybe he didn't get it off. And that is something that they can go back and look at. And I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 points come off the board. But in the meantime, in between time, Scotty Barnes hits a 14-footer and puts 2 points on the board. Offensive foul. Kobe White on the drive, runs over Jakob Poeltl. Give it to Toronto as Yak takes the foul.
This again, and I mentioned it in the open, this is where Kobe White has to be better, right? You're penetrating, you're getting into the paint. You've got to play under control and help your team. You are the point guard, 2 for 8 on the night. 1 for 5 from 3, and you're running right into Poeltl, right? You're doing your team a disservice here. Great job by Poeltl setting up shop, taking it on the chops.
All right, we got a timeout. We'll sort everything out. The Poeltl charge, the challenge, was the bucket by DeMar before the shot clock expired. We'll give it all to you when you come back. 7:09, third quarter, 48-44 Toronto. This is Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Golfers, the Golf Town Demo event is almost here, and you don't want to miss it. This is your chance to save up to 40% on Canada's largest selection of demo golf clubs, including top brands like Callaway, TaylorMade, Ping, Cobra, and more. The Demo Club event early access starts online at golftown.com Thursday, November 2nd at 12 p.m. Plus, doors open for the Demo Club event at your local Golf Town Saturday, November 4th at 9 a.m. Shop early for the best selection. Visit golftown.com for full details.
Does your furnace have a habit of breaking down as soon as it gets cold outside? And your plans for a relaxing night at home turn cold, along with your toes? Not good. Luckily, a highly trained licensed Intercare technician can get your furnace fixed fast. And what we quote is what you pay. So don't get left out in the cold. And right now, get a free diagnostic checkup, a $99 value. Get your furnace fixed right with Intercare. Terms and conditions apply. Give your home more at intercare.ca.
At Desjardins Online Brokerage, we provide high-performance Disnat platforms so you can invest online with no commission fees on stocks and exchange-traded funds. We also offer tools and free training courses. Plus, we've been ranked highest in investor satisfaction among self-directed brokerage firms by J.D. Power. Visit disnat.com. Certain conditions apply. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
There's no better way to drive home than with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Overdrive every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
13-2 run by Toronto has them in front with 7:09 to go, third quarter. 48-44 Raptors. Paul Jones, Javon Shepherd. Here in Toronto, alongside Owen Hall and Matt Cardadero behind the glass. You heard from Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, and Josh Lewinberg at halftime, and we're getting the reversal of that call, and Poeltl will be charged with the foul, and Kobe White will get a couple of free throws. I want them to look at the DeRozan basket. Sure looked like the ball might have been in his hands.
And I'm still a little confused with the overturning of this call, right? Because when Kobe White attacked the basket, he took his shoulder and dipped it into the chest of Pirtle.
I didn't think he was shooting either. Achua.
He couldn't be. He couldn't even see the rim for the 7-footer.
Off to Schroeder, inside to Achua. Precious lays it up and in, and he's fouled. Great two-man game as Schroeder muscles up, flexes up, and says to Precious, that's what I'm talking about. 50-45 Toronto, and a free throw to come for the Memphis Tiger, Precious Achua.
And I like the intensity and the energy that Precious came into the game with against Minnesota. Right, he came in and had 2 dunks early that really got the energy going within the team and got the vibes up on the court. I think if he comes in with this team and just plays to his strengths, like be athletic, play strong, play, with power, with a presence, and not worry about what everybody else is doing, he can be a big-time player for this club.
Levine drives, passed it, didn't hit anybody. He got it before it came down. They're going to call him for a discontinued dribble. Turn it over, give it to Toronto. Raptors up 51-45. 6:45 to go. Third quarter. Anunoby gets it to Schroeder. Now to Siakam on Kobe White. Backs in. Kick it out to Schroeder. Swing it to Trent. Drive in the lane. Bodied. Throws it up and in. And one for Gary Trent. He's going to the stripe to try to complete the old-time three-point play.
Great attack for him. And it stems from the same play again. Side ball screen. Drop it into the post on the mismatch on White, I believe it was there. And Pascal, unselfish play, kicking it out. And one more pass, Jonesy. Kick out of the double. One more. Gary playing off of the catch. Gets himself to the line.
The bump in the bucket, but no free throw. So it's a 53-45 Toronto lead. Caruso in the lane, floats it up, no good. Achua down with the rebound. Gets it to Schroeder up the middle of the court. Schroeder backs up, top of the key, 3 in the air, bang, bang, down the bottom of the well for Dennis Schroeder.
Turn Schroeder up.
56-45, Raptors by 11. What a start to the third quarter. 21-3 for the Raptors is the run, and they almost turned Chicago over. Scrambling, Caruso finds Torrey Craig. His 3-ball, no good, far side. Rebound. They're going to say Anunoby with the foul. Boy, I thought he was just kind of jousting, to use a volleyball term, with Vucevic for the ball. Both had their hands on it pushing, but they're going to give the foul to OG. Dennis Schroeder.
Ice in the vein.
Ice in the vein. The straight 3 down and the 3 on the forearm. Ice in the vein. Raptors leading it. Caruso drives, lays it up and in. 56-47 Toronto. Schroeder up top. On the bounce. Gets it to Siakam. Near side, drives down to the baseline. His cross-court pass intercepted. Here comes Chicago. DeRozan into the lane, lays it up and in. Vintage DeMar with the low sweep on the take, taking it underneath his knees and then raising up and laying it in. Timeout, Darko Rajakovic. 56-49 Toronto. Let's take a break. 5:02 third quarter. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
A truly fantastic 3/4 carat created diamond in the solitaire style number 1111 is just $2,399. Michael, tell them about the freedom we give them.
Buy a diamond solitaire from Spence and you can trade in your mounting toward any other style of ring within 1 year of the date of purchase. Receive full value for the mounting you trade in, which means you can choose from 154 different styles of solitaires.
It's a great time to get engaged.
Spence. Wow! Located in Vaughan, Scarborough, and Mississauga.
You've heard that sound before. A basketball going off the backboard and in. A bank shot.
Well, that's actually the sound of a fan winning a Raptors jersey. That's the sound of a fan getting a signed Raptors basketball. And that's a fan scoring tickets to the NBA Finals. With the Tangerine Bank Shot contest, every bank shot the Raptors score this season wins a fan a prize. Enter for a chance to win at tangerine.ca/bankshot. Tangerine, that's forward banking.
Hockey season's back, and you know what that means. There's going to be more. More? And thanks to Hyundai's Breakaway Sales event, even more. So come celebrate the new hockey season and break away with the new Hyundai. New vehicles arriving daily, so order yours today. Conditions apply. Vehicle availability varies by model. Visit HyundaiCanada.com or your local dealer for details.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
Raptors come out of the timeout and turn it over, and Vucevic makes a three, and Chicago has cut the lead to 56-52. Schroeder front court for the Raptors in the black, moving from right to left. Siakam deep three up top, bang, down the bottom of the well for Pascal. Raptors go back up 7, 59-52. 4:15 to go. Chicago in the white, coming left to right. DeRozan gets a screen from Vucevic. Into the lane, lays it up, no good. But Vucevic crashes and jams it back down. Lead cut to 59-54, Toronto.
Vooch doing the dirty work. 2 back screens and trailing the play, not giving up. Comes up with a putback.
Achua in the lane, kicks it to Anunoby, near corner. Up top, Schroeder. Shot fake, drive, kick it out. Siakam three on the wing, no good. Rebound, Vucevic. Outlet pass, here comes Chicago. 4-on-2. White into the corner. Craig, three, no good. Long rebound, DeRozan. Back to Craig, drives and lays it in. Chicago has cut the lead to 3, 59-56.
Well, that's a tough one for Toronto. You have 2 guys that are on the floor, and Gary Gambo's in the backcourt there. Torrey Craig comes up with an offensive rebound in his own shot and puts it back.
Anunoby up top. Gets it to Siakam, far side, right wing above the arc. Works right against Kobe White, back to the left. Gets it to Achua. Precious floater, no good as the shot clock was expiring. Here comes Chicago. A three will tie it. DeRozan backs in on Trent, into the lane, kicks to a cutting Craig, loses the ball on the way up. Here comes Toronto. Siakam, middle of the floor, Euro steps, and they got him on an offensive foul on Caruso.
Pascal there, I understand what he was thinking, just in attack mode, sees a smaller Caruso, but they load up. Vooch on the strong side and Caruso setting his feet to take the charge. Schroeder's on that 45 on the right side. You got to give it up early and let Schroeder walk into that three. Just hit one a couple possessions ago.
So they'll take a timeout, and we'll stay here. 2:47 to go, third quarter. Javon, I have my theories, but what is it that causes a team?
Offensive foul on Siakam. It's a coach's challenge by Toronto.
They're challenging the offensive foul on Pascal. You just heard Jason Goebel. What is it that has a team look like night and day after a timeout, after a break, going into the locker room?
Yeah, it's funny. When teams really have an identity, usually you find something to put that battery in your back, whether it's on the defensive side, whether it's on the offensive side. And I think with this Raptors team this season, a lot of their energy comes from the offensive end. As much as they're going to be a great defensive team, or they have the capability of being a great defensive team, because they're moving the basketball as well as they are, because they're getting open shots and everybody's touching it, you're a little bit more motivated on the defensive end. But what we've seen in the second quarter, was a team that was getting some good looks, but they just weren't knocking down shots, and then that took away from their defensive abilities.
That's an offensive foul on Siakam. Caruso establishes a legal guarding position, and therefore it's going to be an offensive foul. Unsuccessful challenge.
Unsuccessful challenge. Caruso was according to the officials, in a legal guarding position. Even though he was moving, they deemed he must have been moving straight back. And the foul will stand on Pascal. Offensive foul.
Well, they say he's a first-team all-defense, right? So he's going to get those calls. He's going to get that respect from the refs.
Chicago ball. 11-3 run for the Bulls of late. DeRozan in the lane. Tough jumper over Achua. No good. Rebound Barnes. Scotty in a dead sprint up the middle of the floor. Finds Siakam running the far wing. Lays it up and in. He was tuned into the broadcast.
There it is.
Old-time fast
what do
break.
We get? Traditional ball. 3-on-2. Scotty with the vice grip rebound, pushing it. Pascal cutting at the break.
Kobe White back, lays 2 in for Chicago. 61-58. Raptors up by 3, 2:10 to go, third quarter. Brent Barnaky running over and adjusting the shot clock. So the Raptors will have it with 2:06 to go, third quarter, and leading 61-58. Barnes to inbound, gets it to Achua. Middle of the court. Back to Barnes, guarded by Caruso. Barnes walks Caruso into the lane, floats it up and in.
He's too small.
Somewhere I want to put my hand palm down around my shin, saying, he's too small.
He's too small. Put it at the ankle. He's too small. You got a small fry.
Kobe White says, I'll take 3 from the outside.
And right away, Pascal looks over at the bench and says, that one's on me, going under the screen and giving a clear, clean shot.
63-61, Raptors. McDaniels 3 up top, no good. Rebound Caruso. Here comes Chicago looking to tie the game with 1:25, third quarter. Kobe White to Torrey Craig. Into the lane, free throw line, jumper good. We're knotted at 63. Torrey Craig knocks out a 15-footer. Siakam to Achua, deep 3, good. Down the bottom of the well for Precious Achua. Raptors up 66-63. Under a minute, third quarter. Kobe White near side. Drives, turns the corner into the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound Toronto. Achua, outlet to Barnes. Lobs it to Trent, puts it up, blocked. Ball on the floor, Achua has it. Back to Barnes. Scotty against DeMar, near side left wing on the angle. Drives, kicks it cross court to Trent, too high, out of bounds. And Chicago will have the ball. That 2-on-1, Javon, not executed the old-fashioned way. John Beilein wants the bounce pass there, right?
Want the bounce pass, especially to a guy that's not going to be playing above the rim.
Right.
So, and you could see the frustration by Gary just saying, deliver the ball. And then, fortunately for the Raptors, you get it back in a turnover from Scotty to set Gary. You can see in Gary's body language just hey, I had 2 great opportunities, just got to deliver the ball, got to on time, on target.
DeRozan up top on the dribble. Into the lane. Score it and a foul. DeMar opens up the bag of tricks. And he'll go to the line for one more.
DeMar is playing at a speed that he's just really comfortable, right? Just seems like he's in slow motion, great footwork, takes the contact, and slows down that last step so that he can gather himself to finish. May not be in his prime anymore, but he still finds ways to put the ball in the hole and does it in the mid-range. So surgical when he gets into the paint.
66-65 Toronto, and DeMar will stand on the line to try and knot the ball game. He misses it. Achua is fouled by Torrey Craig on the rebound. Came underneath him. Good positioning there by Precious. And with 17.9 seconds to go, we'll walk to the other end as Achua will get 2 free throws. Precious is given some valuable minutes off the bench. In 10 minutes, 6 points, 5 rebounds.
Hey, you know what you see from him is a guy that knows what's expected of him right now, and he's just playing composed. last year it was a bit loose where he's taking the ball, he's pushing it, he's trying to initiate the offense, he's trying to play on the perimeter, he's trying to play in the post. He wants touches, but a guy that right now you can just see he understands his role, he understands where he's going to get his touches, he understands, and there's expectations that are set for him, and he's playing to that. Came in against Minnesota, like I mentioned, and just energized the team with 2 big plays, 2 big dunks rather, and then here today as well, just in his spots, comfortable, moving the ball, and just running the floor and being a presence. And you'd be surprised at how much, even if you don't touch the rock, if you just run the floor, attract 2, and the defense has to pay attention to you, you've done your job.
Achua makes 2 free throws. Scotty Barnes, we saw a shot of him going to the locker room. Achua's 2 free throws make it 68-65 Toronto. 10 seconds to go, third quarter. DeRozan back to Jalen McDaniels. Works near side, right wing. He's above the arc, crosses over, loses the ball. McDaniels has it. 3 seconds to go. It's knocked away on a scramble, and that's the way the quarter will end, with Toronto leading it 68-65 after 3 quarters.
Well, you're up 3 going into the fourth quarter, and it looks like we got another dogfight, Jones. We got another 12-round bout.
Well, last lap of the track when we come back, 68-65 Toronto. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball across the TSN radio network.
Do more in a reliable Subaru, they said. Enjoy more time together to go more places with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, they said. More award-winning safety for more peace of mind, but to listen to one song over and over again with fantastic acoustics. I love you, family, but the singing, nobody warned me about the singing.
Hurry to your local Subaru dealer and get more out of every kilometer this fall, including more karaoke.
Picture this. You're asleep. Deep sleep. Perfectly still. Blissfully calm. But then your partner starts to toss and turn, and you don't even notice. At Sleep Country, sleep experts like me are here to help you fall asleep and stay asleep no matter the disturbance with our wide assortment of motion control mattresses.
Right now at the Do Not Disturb event, get a queen mattress for the hot price of $4.99 until Wednesday. Only at Sleep Country.
Hey, it's me. You know me. Some say I'm time, some say I talk, some think I grow on trees, and people want to look like a million of me. That's right, I'm Money, and I'm ready to work harder, because now with HSBC Bank, you earn more interest. That means making you more of me.
Make your money work harder for you. Get up to 6.35% per year on new deposits with an HSBC Canadian Dollar high-rate savings account. Visit hsbc.ca/money. Terms apply. Offer ends on January 12th, 2024. Rates are subject to change.
Making your lousy commute fun. Overdrive with Hayes Noodles and the O-Dog. Every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. on TSN 1050.
Toronto leading it after 3 quarters, 68-65. Last lap of the track. Toronto was 35-11 last year when leading after 3 quarters, only 5-29. And they cashed in one of those when trailing after 3-quarter wins against Minnesota on opening night. Maybe they can look back at the 35-11 and get one more tonight to go to 2-0. Fourth quarter brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Chicago ball front court. Dosumu, Drummond, Levine, Carter, and Craig in the white. Levine, fall-away jumper, no good. Torrey Craig with the rebound. Finds Levine into the lane. Now to Drummond, jump hook in the air, no good. Rebound Boucher. Boucher, Achua, McDaniels, Trent, and Barnes in the black for the Raptors, coming front court right to left. Trent down the near side. Underneath. In traffic, McDaniels back out to Trent. Corner jumper, good. Just inside the arc. A long 2 for Gary. Great patience. The Raptors go up 70-65.
Gary makes a great play, unselfish, gets to the McDaniels, and McDaniels kicking it back out. Good job by Gary, staying active.
On the drive, Drummond gets it down. 70-67. Toronto up 3. We go inside 11 minutes, fourth quarter. Barnes on the dribble. To Achua between the rings. Now gets it to Trent. Uses the Achua screen. 3 in the air. No good. Long rebound to Precious. On the bounce near side against Torrey Craig. Takes it out. Gives it to Trent. Gary works right hand to the middle. Now gets it to Scotty. A deep 3 from Scotty. No good. Boucher in there for the rebound. And he's pushed by Drummond. Chris Boucher paying dividends. And the Raptors will have the ball thanks to Chris's efforts.
And Chris has been in this situation before where he's been on playing minimal minutes and just comes in and earns his keeps by those type of plays, those energy plays, by just being a dog, being gritty, giving his team extra possessions.
Raptor ball, far side, right wing. Boucher holds it over his head. Now to Barnes. To Achua, near elbow, left side. Finds Barnes on the post up. Pass goes awry, but Scotty picks it up and knocks in a 16-footer, far baseline right side. Great offense there. Even though the post up didn't go, he managed to get a bucket.
Well, he was still able to get a clean shot against a smaller Caruso.
Trent with a steal, knocks it away on the run. Gary is fouled on his attack at the basket, and he's going to get a couple of free throws. The quick hands of Gary Trent pilfering the basketball and going the other way.
And pushing it. You can see he may have had a three-point play if he kept that ball in the left hand and just extended and finished, but still a great job, a big-time job there, pushing it, cutting off the defense. Feels those preseason legs. Was trying to get above the rim. Didn't really get there, but strong attack, and again, it starts on the defensive end. To your point, the play before, Scotty Barnes seeing Caruso, didn't get the clean post up, but you still have the mismatch. You still the size advantage. You're just shooting it right over the top of the defense, just you in the basket.
So let's see what's up. There's a stoppage on the court. The referee's gathering. And so there you go. Chicago challenges the call on the floor. But as it stands now, if it's not overturned, it will be a defensive foul on Levine. Raptors did a terrific job. The defense there, Trent in the passing lane, those top to wing passes, Javon, if they're not crisp, people are going to grab them.
Yeah, and Gary Trent as well just knows if I'm not getting the shots that I want and I got to get some rhythm in this game, the best way to start is on the defensive end. Get some deflections, get some steals, get some touches that way. And yeah, the easiest baskets are layups. So if you can get a steal, push the ball the length of the floor, get yourself a good look at the basket, yeah, now you're in the flow of the game. Now things are coming to you a bit easier. The next shot you get, you're going to be in rhythm. You're stepping into it. You're a knockdown guy.
So the crowd being entertained at the United Center while the referees consult and find out whether the call on the floor will stand or Billy Donovan's.
After review, the challenge is successful. Zach Levine makes contact with the ball in hand, making an illegal play. Since there was no possession at the time of the whistle, any two that were in the game are going to be jumping it up from center court with 24 on the shot clock.
Well, there you heard the explanation from Jason Goebel. Levine got his hand on the ball cleanly. Hand is part of the ball, as we say in the blacktop. So that makes it a legal play. The challenge successful. And because there was no possession by either team, any two on the floor can jump to try and get the possession.
Yeah, we're getting another look at it. That's what I was talking about there earlier, Jonesy, is that Gary slows down his motion to the basket and allows Levine to catch up and get the hand on the ball. If he had just kept that ball, push it ahead, and finish with that left hand, you have an and one at that point, or at the very least, 2 points.
Andre Drummond and Precious Achua will jump it up. Drummond wins the tip, Caruso has it. So Chicago will, in the white, will bring it front court. Left to right, trailing 72-67. Inside 10 minutes, fourth quarter. Drummond up top. Spins on Achua, and they got him on a walk.
And if they didn't get him on a walk, they were going to get him on an offensive.
On a hook.
That left elbow in the neck of Achua as he spins to the basket.
So the Raptors don't get the bucket or free throws from Trent, but they get the stop on the turnover. Turnover number 16 for Chicago. Here comes Toronto. Barnes stops at the elbow. Down low to Achua, knocked away by Caruso. Boucher picks it up, floats it up, and in. Chris picking up the loose change and floating it back in the machine. 2 points comes out for Toronto, 74-67 Raptors.
One thing you have to do is respect Chris Boucher.
Drummond in the lane, fouled. Well, they weren't going to let him get a dunk, and Andre Drummond's free throw shooting is almost a 50-50 proposition as he shot 53.6% last year. That's a good foul, if you ask me. Big man, there's the line 15 feet away.
You put the big man at the free throw line and make him earn it.
First one good. Normally he approaches the free throw line with the trepidation that most people have going to a dentist chair. First one good from Drummond. Flicks the wrist. The second one good. He says, Paul Jones, be quiet. 9:17, fourth quarter, 74-69. Toronto in front with the ball in the black, moving front court from right to left. Barnes gets it over the timeline against Caruso. Bottom of the center circle, works far side, right wing, gives it to Boucher. Now to Trent, shot clock at 8, works left, near side against Drummond. Gary, step back, three, no good, long rebound, Javon Carter. Here comes Chicago. Carter gets it to a trailing Caruso. Stops for three, it's short, rebound. Achua tight ropes the baseline and saves it to Boucher. Here comes Barnes, front court. Javon Carter with two hands on him. Scotty backing him down, and Carter, man, he was all over him like a fly at a barbecue with the meat, man. He was like buzzing around and finally got called for the foul.
Well, he knew exactly what was coming because, Scotty Barnes was trying to clear out Boucher out of that strong side so he can get that side pick and roll and get that mismatch, get that post up that we've been seeing all second half.
Barnes on the inbound, gets it to Trent. Back to Scotty, far elbow, right side on Dosunmu. Backs in, tough, turnaround, good, man. Scotty says, in your eye hole, 76-69.
Ooh-wee.
Fade, fire, and fill it up, said, take that with you. Raptors by 7, we approach 8 minutes, fourth quarter. Levine into the corner, Dosunmu, three, no good, rebound Achua. Outlet Barnes, Scotty on the run, kicks it to Trent. Three ball, far side, bang, bang, down the bottom of the well. Toronto has pushed the lead to 10 at 79-69. 7:45 to go, fourth quarter. Levine straight away on Achua. Gets it to Carter, back to Levine. Trent picks him up between the circles. Levine drives left into the corner. Dosunmu drives, kick to the corner, swing it. Carter three, near side, no good. Long rebound, Craig. Holds it over his head between the circles. Now to Levine, left side, far wing. Right hand to the middle. Into the lane, floats it up and in. Tough bucket by Zach LaVine.
And you know, with 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, Zach LaVine is going to turn it on right now. He's only 2 for 9 in this game, but a guy that has the ability to really heat up quick.
79-71 Toronto. Boucher drives and is fouled by Drummer. Lovely screen and roll with Trent delivering to Boucher, gliding down the baseline, and OG Anunoby limping to the bench, favoring that right leg.
How many actions have we seen in the second half on that right side of the court? And it all stems from that right side pick and roll. guard attacking the middle of the key. And whether you get the mismatch in the post, ball coming back to the post, or in this case here, the pass over to Boucher in the attack. And we're seeing Boucher missed the first one there, but we're seeing OG.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just cramps, right? And he had a bit of those in the game against Minnesota.
Heading to the back with Vice President of Player Performance, Alex McKechnie. And Javon, we get a look at them in the tunnel as they've huddled around OG. Looks like it could be cramps the way he's on the ground, but we're not going to speculate any further. Free throw, second one, good by Boucher. 80-71, Toronto by 9. Boucher, 6 points in 9 minutes with a rebound. Levine, step back, long, 2 in the air, no good. Rebound, Pirtle. Outlet Siakam. Toronto with a 9-point lead. We approach the top of the stretch, fourth quarter. Barnes, far side, right wing against Craig. Gets the rub screen, kicks it out. Trent, open 3 in the air, got it. Down the bottom of the well for Gary Trent Jr.
It's money. And those guys, they had a couple miscues early, but now you see that timing's coming, and Scotty doing a great job dragging out the defense with that extra dribble. Gary Trent Jr., perfect job filling behind him for the open shot.
Chicago misses, loose ball in the air. Gary's got it. Toronto back with a broken floor, 3-on-4. 12-point lead, 6:10 to go. Siakam backs in, fall away, jumper, good! Pascal, another one, fades, fires, fills it up. The Raptors lead it by 14. Biggest lead of the game for Toronto.
Time to go, time to roll. And this is a game of runs. And you're getting some big time play, some inspiring play. Pascal with the post up on his OG, his old veteran, and fading away to that left shoulder, knocking it down, and play before, possession before. Great job again by Scotty Barnes attacking the basket. Gary Trent Jr. finding his way and finding those lanes, creating those gaps for the passes, knocking down good shots.
Scotty's on triple-double watch, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, but more importantly, if you're a Raptor fan, it's the biggest lead of the game at 14 with 6:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Top of the stretch. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Tangerine Raptors basketball on TSN 1050 Toronto.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom, wha-bam, zap, turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
When Ottawa's proposed electricity regulations make electricity unreliable, the things you rely on won't work when needed. Your hot water, computer, washer and dryer, electric car, TV, lights, mobile phone, stove, your heat in -30. Visit tellthefeds.ca to learn why Canada's power grid will be unreliable. And tell the feds, reliable and affordable electricity matters. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Noah for Medicine Hat writes, Dear Canadian Tire, it's time for upgrades around the house and upgrades in my toolbox. Any recos? The right tools make all the difference. Cliché, I know, but that's why Canadian Tire carries a wide selection of the tools you need. From brands like Mastercraft, Maximum, DeWalt, Bosch, and Stanley. Get everything you need for home maintenance at Canada's store. This week only, Triangle Rewards members earn 10 times bonus CT money on sockets, wrenches, and portable power tools. Qualifying purchases, conditions apply. Visit CanadianTire.ca or the flyer for more details.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows on your smart speaker. Simply tell your smart speaker to listen to TSN 1050 everywhere you want it.
Top of the stretch, 6:03 to go in the ball game. Toronto 85, Chicago 71. It's been a magisterial, in control second half for the Raptors. 35 points in the entire first half, 33 alone in the third quarter, and they lead it right now 85-71.
Well, the big difference is they found what worked on the offensive end. And you don't have to deviate from that at all, right? They'll side ball screens, get the mismatch, move the ball, get it right back into the post, and then you start to get some other things out of it, right? The counters to the post-ups. You can see there they were dragging out, they were doubling down on Scotty. You move the basketball, you get good looks, and then everybody's a bit more motivated on the defensive side.
85-71 Toronto, 5:50 to go. And Siakam runs over DeRozan in the screen and roll action. DeMar going to the ground. Siakam called on the foul. Chicago ball. Inbound far side left wing. They are moving left to right across your dial. Caruso inbound to Kobe White. To DeRozan straight away. DeMar against Siakam. Kicks to Caruso. Deep three, no good. Rebound. Pascal grabs it in the lane. Here comes Schroeder. Out there with a couple other starters in Pirtle and Siakam. But Trent on the floor with Boucher. Trent's three, no good, but he's fouled. And so Gary will go to the line. And if he was behind the arc, and he definitely was, he's going to get 3 shots.
Well, Gary's rolling right now. 5 for 11, 13 points, 3 for 8 from the three-point line. And to your point, you know, getting the chance to go to the free throw line for his 4th free throw of the night after these 3. But you could just see, missed the first one. You can see here after he made his first basket, he got involved, got a big steal early. In the second half, excuse me, his energy changed, his body language changed and shifted. And when he's engaged, when he's, you know, greased up and ready to go, wow, he missed 2 of them. He's a big asset to this team because he's one of those guys that stretch the floor, and especially with the wings, whether it be Pascal, whether it be Scotty, whether it be OG posting up and drawing the attention, he's going to be open on the perimeter. He's got to just step into those shots and just be comfortable.
Trent, as Javon told you, missed the first 2, makes the third. So the Raptors get a 1-point trip and push the lead to 15, 86-71. 5.5 to go, 4th quarter. Chicago front court in the white from left to right. DeRozan into the lane. Kicks it out to Levine. Schroeder pushes up on him. Levine drives right, gets into the lane. Kicks it into the corner to Vucevic, and Trent cracks back, gets a hand on it, deflects it out of bounds, so Chicago will have to go to work in a 5-on-5 situation.
Help the helper, the defense on the string. Great job by Gary cracking back and getting a deflection, not allowing Vucevic an open shot.
And Chicago on the inbound, the pass goes off Vucevic. Caruso can't squeeze it. Toronto gets the turnover. Here comes Schroeder. Over the timeline, we tick towards 5 minutes, 4th quarter. Toronto up 15. Schroeder to Pirtle. Finds Siakam near side, left wing. Great pass in the lane to Trent. Slicing down the lane to lay it in. Oh, Pascal with a sweet left-hand wraparound bounce pass.
Off-ball movement, the defense falls asleep. Chris Boucher with a backdoor cut. Pascal, great penetration on the baseline, and Gary finding a way.
DeRozan drives and is fouled, but Raptors continue to share the rock. Everybody getting a little bit of food to eat. 22 assists on their 35 field goals. And the Raptors.
That's a textbook backdoor by Pascal. Takes a step towards the ball, gets the defense on the high side, Pirtle dropping it off, and now you're forcing Chicago into rotation. Gary gets an open cut to the basket, unselfish drop-off, nice play.
Javon, we know when you play in the schoolyard and everybody's willing to pass it, the pass becomes infectious. Everybody's trying to make the sweet dish and hook a guy up.
Yep.
And we're seeing that from Toronto in the first 2 games.
And you know what happens there as well? Then you start to communicate.
Yes.
You see the guys start to get louder, and guys start to point more, talk more. There's more energy. You start to rattle your opponent. Then you become intimidating for your opponent.
88-73, Toronto by 15, 4.5 to go. Schroeder drives, lays it up, no good. And they got an offensive foul on the missed shot, the rebound. And that's called on Pirtle. Schroeder wanted the call as he slithered to the basket. He wanted the foul call and didn't get it. And what happened was Vucevic pushed Pirtle.
Yeah, Vuce pushed him in the back. You can see the extension with both arms.
Who dominoed into Kobe White. Chicago. Vucevic, 3, far side, no good. Rebound, Schroeder. Raptors front court, 4:10 to go. They lead 88-73. Schroeder, stutter dribble, gets to the hoop, floats it up, no good, no foul. Here comes White to DeRozan. On the run, in the lane, lays it up and in. 88-75, maybe a last push coming for the Bulls. And I think they've got an offensive foul on Toronto on the inbound. Actually, it was a turnover by Scotty Barnes. We're not in the arena, folks. We're only at the mercy of what the camera shows us. DeRozan, jumper, no good. Long rebound to Barnes. Into the corner, Trent, jumper, no good. Rebound Vucevic. 3.5 to go, fourth quarter. 88-75 Toronto. Levine, 3 straight away, no good. Long rebound, Caruso. Kicks it out, a cutting DeRozan. Lays it up and in. Got the foul on Pirtle. DeMar with a chance for the old-time three-point play.
This is where having DeMar and Zach LaVine is so dangerous because both of those guys have had the ball in their hands in these crunch time minutes before, making decisions, making plays. 11-point game with 3:30 left to go. DeMar, great cut to the basket. LaVine, or Caruso, excuse me, with a great find. And Pirtle trying to contest the shot, just leaves the floor. And DeMar, he's just so good. Like drawing contact, playing through contact, finishing through contact, and here with an opportunity at 3.
Javon, it's right in that area. There's a timeout on the floor, but we're going to keep it here. Toronto right in that area where you've got a big lead and you can kind of put it away, but it's also desperation time for the other guy. 3:25 to go in the game. Toronto up 88-77. Chicago knows it's go time right now.
Yeah, well, Chicago's time, they're going to bite down, right? Like you said, they're home, down 11 with 3:30 left to go. So you're going to get them executing more. You're going to get a bit more intensity. You're going to get them a bit more intentional. For the Raptors, this is where it's crucial for the guys handling the basketball, whether it be Scotty Barnes or Dennis Schroeder when he's on the floor right now. In these minutes, especially with Dennis, this is the first time he's had his own team where the keys are in his hands, is where you're going to have to be very decisive, be very crisp, and execute on the offensive and get good shots, right? You don't want to look back and say, okay, we forced a shot or we could have got a better one, because when a team has their back against the wall, they tend to make big-time shots like you see DeMar come up with here and get himself an opportunity to not only score 3, but set up their defense after knocking down 1 at the free throw line.
So DeRozan will go to the free throw line. 17 points on 7 of 15. And only 2 of 3 from the line tonight. Toronto's kept him away from the stripe, but he's there now at a key time.
Yep, and Raptors have to understand time and score right now. Up 10.
We just got word that OG Anunoby will not return. The nature of the injury still unclear. Schroeder, front court. Raptors up 88-78. Achua finds Siakam near side, left wing. Caruso up in his kitchen. Siakam backs out. Got Vucevic on the switch. Goes at him. Drives into the lane. Floats it up. No good. Tipped up. No good by Achua. And they got Precious over the back. Chicago still breathing. 3:03 to go. 88-78 Toronto.
Well, Toronto tried to run some clock. There was a little miscommunication. Spacing was off for the penetration with Pascal. I could see Scotty was under the blocks trying to post up and get a little touch there.
We have word now. It is indeed cramping for OG Anunoby. Got to get him on a diet there. Got to get him on the right diet. 3:03 to go. Caruso, free throw, no good. Darko Rajakovic with a pensive look on his face. Arms crossed in front of his chest as he has the wheels turning. Caruso makes the second one. The lead is 9. 3 minutes to go. Down the stretch we come. Toronto ball moving front court right to left in the black. Schroeder, far side, right wing. Into the lane, floats it up, no good. Rebound Vucevic. Here comes Levine. Kicks it to Kobe White into the corner. Caruso, 3, good. 88, 82. The lead is 6. Back comes Barnes. 2:34 to go. Toronto needs a hoop desperately here. Schroeder to Trent. 3 up, top, short, long rebound Vucevic. Chicago on a run. Levine to White, deep 3, no good, long rebound Caruso. Out to Levine, deep 3, short, rebound on the ground, Barnes picks it up. And Caruso reaches in and fouls him.
That's a bad foul by Caruso there. Your team just got 2 great offensive rebounds, 2 good looks.
And Toronto isn't scoring.
Toronto isn't scoring. There's no reason for you to pick up that careless foul there. Fortunately for the Raptors, you take it, right? Get yourself on the other end. Scotty Barnes is going to have, an opportunity, a chance at 2 at the stripe.
88-82. Toronto by 6. 2:08 to go in the ball game. Barnes, first free throw, good. Rattles it down. Scotty, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. And the Raptors have a 7-point lead, 89-82.
And I'm going to bet your account that he's going to get this triple-double. But I'm betting your money, though. I'm not betting mine.
Why would you bet mine? Yours is more than mine. Why would you bet the small change?
I'm keeping mine.
DeRozan drives in the lane, floats it up and in. 89-84. Minute 55 to go. Chicago energized. Scotty takes the ball over the midcourt line. Works down the baseline near side against Kobe White. Walks him into the lane. Turnaround jumper, good.
He's too small.
Barbecue chicken.
Fried chicken. That one's fried chicken.
Use him like a rented mule. 91-84, Toronto by 7. DeRozan in the lane. The jumper over Schroeder, no good. Vucevic with the rebound. Kicks it out. They get it to DeRozan. He drives, no good. But the foul called on Siakam. And Pascal bent elbows, palms to the sky, saying, where was the foul?
Yeah, from our angle here, that was a phantom call. Just, again, getting another look at Scotty Barnes on Kobe White. He's posting him up on that left block. What I like here with this action is he's attacking the middle of the paint over his left shoulder to his strong hand. So even if the defense collapses, he's passing out with his strong hand, right? He's seeing over the defense and making a pass with that strong hand. But again, extending that 7'3" wingspan and just dropping it over to small fry.
91-85. Toronto by 6. DeRozan on the line. Second one is good. Chicago on a 14-3 run over the last 4:47. Barnes front court. Gets it to Schroeder. Straight away. Back to Barnes. Isolated on Caruso, far side. Scotty jab, drive. Fall away, jumper, short, rebound, White. Minute to go in the game. Toronto 91, Chicago 86. DeRozan, kick up top, Vucevic, Kobe White. On the bounce. Gets it to Levine. Up top, Kobe White, deep 3, no good. Rebound, Gary Trent Jr. Javon, on all the switching there, the Raptors stayed home, no mismatches.
Nothing and nowhere. You see the shot that you get. Kobe White taking a 30-footer.
30 seconds to go. Raptors by 5. Siakam to Achua. 3 short. Long rebound knocked away. Chicago has it. DeRozan front court. 20 seconds to go. Drives on Trent. Lays it up. No good, but is fouled by Achua. So Chicago still breathing life. 91-86. They trail by 5, 20 seconds to go. Clock stop. DeRozan at the line for 2.
He's so good at getting to the free throw line, right? Getting there for his 7th and 8th opportunity or chances at free throws here.
Achua fouls out Javon with 8 points and 9 rebounds.
I mean, that's a heck of a stat line for the minutes that he's played, right? 21 minutes, 8 and 9, flirting with a double-double.
DeRozan free throw good. DeMar's got 23.
But DeMar, even on that attack, so slow. He gets up into the air, and you almost think he's going to come back down and travel with it. Just finds a way to flick that ball up at the rim. Almost like he baits and waits for the contact before he takes that shot.
Second free throw good from DeRozan. Timeout, Coach Rajakovic. Raptors have 1 timeout remaining. And they will advance the ball, leading by 91-88, 1 possession. All right, Javon, put your coaching hat on.
Oh, this is simple. You've seen what's worked all game, and they're already in the bonus. So you're trying to pick out one of those matchups and get that ball in the post, whether it's Pascal, whether it's Scotty. And if they're going to play one-on-one, you've got to punish, you've got to dominate that matchup right there. And secondly, if they choose to collapse the floor, which they might with Caruso, whether it's Caruso or White that you're going to attack that's in the game right now, then you're going to get somebody a clean shot, right? So everybody's got to be prepared. Everybody's got to be ready on the perimeter for the ball to pop out or cut into the basket, because this is pretty simple, right? You don't need anything on the perimeter where there's too much handling, or you put yourself in a position for Chicago to come up with a turnover or force you into a tough shot. Stick with what works. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
So Toronto leads it 91-88, and we will look for that action as the Raptors come out of the timeout. Chicago obviously will be trying to get a 5-second count, steal the inbound, something to that nature. But let's see if Toronto's able to execute.
You have the full clock. So if you're Toronto, you're running that down.
Trent to inbound. Near side, left wing. Gets it to Boucher, and it's knocked away by Kobe White. There was a sprint to the backcourt by Schroeder, and Chicago sprinted with him. If Schroeder gets that ball, for some of you youngsters, Google Curly Neal of the Globetrotters. He'll be dribbling around, and as fast as he is, Javon, I don't know if you're going to catch him.
You're definitely not going to catch him. But I feel Gary Trent Jr. there on the inbound, and that was just too risky of a play, because at the same time, if they get a tip or a deflection in the backcourt there, you're looking at an easy layup.
So let's see what Toronto does on this inbound. .8 seconds to go. Toronto, no timeouts left. Chicago does have one if they get the ball. Schroeder talking with Darko as they break the huddle. DeRozan coming onto the floor for Chicago. Out there with Levine, White, Caruso, and Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig obviously out there for defense.
You still have Caruso, you still have White out there on the floor right now. I'd imagine you're going to apply some pressure if you're Chicago and potentially foul with about 10 seconds left.
They throw it into the backcourt to Scotty Barnes, who gets it knocked away. Chicago with the steal. DeRozan floats it up and in, and a foul on Schroeder. A disastrous, calamitous turn of events for Toronto. And Chicago has a chance to tie the game at 91.
Now, Jonesy, this is what I just mentioned. Not even 10 seconds ago. You throw that ball into the backcourt, there's an opportunity where there's a chance that Chicago can get a tip on the ball, get a turnover, and worst case scenario here, you come up with an and one. You know, Chicago steals the ball, Caruso dives on it, DeMar cuts through the paint. That side step, that slow last step, and putting it up off of the glass gets himself to the free throw line with a chance at 3.
No timeout for Toronto. So they're going to have to go on the inbound. And you're telling everybody in the event that DeMar misses, he's 7 of 8 tonight, you got to have the rebound. Free throw up, no good. Knocked away, DeRozan has it, lays it up, no good. Rebound to Siakam. Did a Raptor call a timeout? Because they don't have one left. That would be a technical for Chicago. 91-90 Chicago. 9.4 seconds to go. The signal looked like a timeout, Toronto. Jason Goebel, the lead official, now wheeling his finger, and they are going to review. We'll get an explanation here as to what it is. Are they reviewing a goaltend? Yes, they are. He's signaling as if it was a goaltend, and they're going to review it on DeRozan's shot.
The call on the floor is a goaltend. We're going to score the basket. It's under review.
I don't know where the goaltend was. The only thing I could think of, Javon, was somebody touching the mesh. That's the only thing I could think of.
I think what they're looking at is DeMar puts up that putback, and Scotty is contesting the shot. So they're looking to see if
he didn't touch it though.
Hit the rim.
Yeah.
But I don't think Scotty hit the rim at all.
He didn't hit the rim. He didn't hit the ball.
That ball was already off of the backboard and on the rim from the angle we have with the monitor.
You got to overturn that call. We're looking at it. DeMar misses. Scotty doesn't touch.
No. Yeah, not at all.
He doesn't touch the mesh. He doesn't touch the rim. He doesn't touch the ball. He doesn't touch the backboard. Like it's unsportsmanlike if you hit the backboard to catapult the ball off the rim. But Scotty.
After review, it is not a goaltend.
They had the right call.
It'll be Toronto's ball because at the time of the whistle, Toronto had possession, side out either side. 9.4 on the game clock.
But you're Toronto now. That's good news that it's not a goaltend. But you got to get this ball in, Javon, without a timeout. Hard cuts, hard screens. That ball must get in bounds. .4 seconds to go.
You want to get a running start if you're Toronto, and I imagine this ball gets into Pascal's hands because he's probably the best finisher and can get himself a little advantage.
Schroeder inbounding in front of the Chicago bench, about 80 feet from the basket Toronto is attacking. Gets the ball from the official. Caruso holding Siakam.
Ooh.
That looked like a foul before the ball was inbounded. He was holding him like a grudge. And to me, that looked like he was being held before the ball was inbounded, which would mean one shot and the ball out of bounds. Nonetheless, Pascal's got to go to the line and knock down freebies.
Well, in any event, the job is not done. Right?
No.
Pascal's got to get to the free throw line right now and knock down 2 so that this is a 3-point game, because the point of that foul by Caruso was so that Chicago can get the last shot of the game, right? They have just 8.5 seconds left.
Free throw good by Siakam, up and down. Pascal's got 17 on the night.
Chicago has one more timeout remaining, so if Pascal knocks this down, they'll have a call to advance the ball and set up a half-court offensive set.
McDaniels in for defense on the perimeter. In the event that they don't advance and they push it, you got a longer defender out there.
Chicago 7 for 36 from the three-point line tonight. So if you're Toronto, the odds are in your favor. You've got to stay down, stay disciplined, no fouls, and contest.
Siakam's second free throw is good. 93-90 Toronto. This one looked like it was in the bag, but somebody cut a hole in the bottom of the pouch.
And right now, if you're Darko, and I know we've prided ourselves on playing man-to-man matchups and sticking with your opponent, with your matchup. But in this situation here with the, 8 seconds left, you know, I expect to see switch everything and keep the ball in front of you. You know they need a three-point shot, no timeouts, no fouls to give. So you got to stay down, stay disciplined, move your feet, contest shot, and not make anything easy, right? Anything going to the basket, you're fine, right? You can leave the attack, you can leave the drive at the basket, and sometimes it's our nature to collapse when the ball gets into the paint. No, everybody stick to the perimeter, get on that three-point line, run everything off of that line.
All right, 8.6 seconds to go. 93-90 Toronto. Let's see if they can muster one stop to go 2-0 for the first time since 2019. Schroeder not guarding Caruso, who's inbounding. Now he comes to him and faces him. Caruso inbound to Vucevic. They get it to DeRozan. Up fake and is fouled by Boucher. And it's a three-point foul. DeMar will get 3 shots. My goodness.
That's a tough one. You know, you got the switch. Boucher's there. He has the length. He just had to stay down on the ground and contest. DeMar so crafty, gathers the pump fake, and Boucher gets him right on the elbow.
I would say this, Javon. You don't normally run a play for DeMar, who's not a three-point shooter, but that pump fake had to be factored into the play.
Well, and that's what I said to you initially, right? Stay down, stay disciplined, no fouls.
First one good from DeMar.
In Toronto, no timeouts left. So again, you're going the length of the floor if DeMar makes all 3.
First one is good. Second one in the air, clean for DeMar. The next one could tie it with 3.5 seconds to go. The Raptors had an 88-72 lead, 88-71, 17-point lead with under 5 minutes to go. It's short, and DeRozan violated by going over the line.
And that's the break they needed. That is the break they needed right there. And DeRozan knew it. As soon as that ball left his hands, he knew it was short.
Offensive foul on the Raptors. Siakam tried to get it in, and they got him on they got Caruso on the flop. And he's going to give Chicago the ball. 3 seconds to go. Chicago ball, left side, far wing, Caruso to inbound. Boy, I'd like to take a look at that flopping rule right there. They lob it to DeRozan. Up fake, and he's fouled. with 0.7 of a second to go.
Wow. Wow.
Toronto having all kinds of issues closing this ball game.
And it's DeMar, right? You know when that ball goes into his hands, there's going to be a shot fake. There's going to be a pump fake. Scotty had the right idea. He's coming on the help side. You know there's one shot going up, but you've got to be in control. You know, Pascal did a tremendous job just staying down.
DeMar ties the game at 93 with 0.7 of a second. Second one from DeRozan with 0.7 of a second could give Chicago the lead. He misses it. Rebound Siakam, and we are going to overtime.
We got 5 more, Jonesy.
We got 5 more, but in all honesty, partner, I don't think it should be 5 more. This one got away. Still a chance to rope it back in, but we will stay here and kind of take apart what has happened, and the Raptors' new team just losing a little bit of their composure. Yes, and poise going down the stretch.
And just closing out games, right? A game like this is so important, especially early in the season. You've had turnovers. You've had, offensive fouls all in the last minute. And fortunately for the Raptors, DeMar's missed 2 big free throws.
Yeah.
This one here could have essentially closed the game. But you've got to find ways to be disciplined. You've got to find ways to execute in these moments of the game. And the Raptors clearly haven't done it. You're going to get 5 more minutes, and it's going to be tough because you're playing without OG, who has not going to be returned to the game with cramps. Precious Achiuwa has picked up his 6th foul. Scotty's playing with 5, and Pascal's playing with 4. And you would hope for Scotty this doesn't deter him, or this doesn't impact his level of aggression, because he's had himself a night. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. But if you learn anything, if you're the Raptors right now, DeMar DeRozan, he's in crunch minutes. The ball is going to him. Zach LaVine has shot 2 for 12 on the night, 0 for 6 from 3. No assists. That ball is going to DeMar, and he's going to kill you to death with pump fakes, slow motion, cross steps, Euro steps in the paint, and drawing fouls. He's gone to the free throw line 14 times tonight, 10 for 14 from the free throw line. So the script is written for the Raptors. Get the ball to DeMar's hands, and if he catches it, stay disciplined. And you've got to execute a lot better in these vital minutes of the game.
Well, Toronto was 2-3 in overtime last year. Let's see what they come up with tonight, as we're going to play 5 more minutes. Chicago and Toronto tied as we head to overtime, 93 apiece. Tip won by Chicago. They continue in the white, coming left to right. Kobe White near side, gets it to Vucevic on the block, misses the dunk, but they got the foul on Boucher.
Scotty Barnes late getting over that screen, and Vooch getting deep inside position as he catches it, cross screen there. As he catches it, Boucher come from the weak side, tries to contest it a little late. But Scotty's got to get over that screen. LaVine doing a good job setting it. And the communication between Dennis Schroeder and Scotty just has to be a tad bit better and quicker, so Scotty can get in position and avoid that deep post touch.
First one good from Vucevic. Second one also goes down. 95-93 Chicago. Here comes Schroeder, front court. Raptors got to make a muscle. and try to get this one back. Siakam up top. Gets it to Barnes. Scotty backs in on Kobe White. Kicks out to Schroeder. 3 in the air. Bang! Down the bottom of the well. Schroeder with ice in the veins. Gives Toronto a 96-95 lead.
You need it, and they're helping off a Schroeder. They're giving up that shot. Be it that he's a low 30% shooter, but 2 for 5 knocking it down. And if they're going to double down on Scotty in the post, that's the right play. That's the right play to make.
DeRozan kicks to Vucevic. Back to DeRozan. Jumper in the air, no good. Rebound, Boucher. Caruso fishing around. Boucher strong with the ball on the outlet to Schroeder. Here comes Toronto. 1-point lead. Schroeder, free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound, DeRozan. 3:40 in overtime. 96-95 Toronto. DeRozan backs in on Trent. Gets into the lane. Kicks it out. White to Levine. Drive. Got away with a carry. Fall away jumper, no good. Another big rebound by Boucher. Here comes Schroeder. Hits Barnes. In the corner, far side, right wing. 3:15 to go in overtime. Schroeder drives on the baseline. Kicks it cross court. Trent to Siakam. 3 in the air. No good. Long rebound, Caruso. Finds Levine. Jams it down far side. 97-96 Chicago. Schroeder front court. On the bounce, picks it up near side. Inside, Siakam fouled by White, and Pascal will go to the line for 2.
Again, you get the horns action. Schroeder comes off of the left side with Pascal Siakam. He has the matchup against Kobe White, and I feel like it's been a broken record. Every time Kobe White is on one of the perimeter players, you're getting a post touch. Right, didn't get it on the initial action, and Scotty Barnes with the high-low from the top of the key puts enough air under it, and Pascal gets White on his high side. 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists for Scotty Barnes. You would have lost your money, Jonesy.
Well, you would have lost my money because you were the one betting with it. Siakam missed the first free throw. 2:42 in overtime. Raptors down 1. Pascal's second free throw short. Chicago with the ball in the lead, 97-96. DeRozan, far side. Left wing on Barnes. Scotty with his hands down. Moving his feet. DeRozan into the lane, lays it in. (99-96) Chicago. Schroeder to Barnes. Scotty 3 up top, good.
Right
down
now.
the bottom of the well. Scotty with the guts of a burglar knocks that one down. Game tied at 99.
You got to get a stop on this play, and it's going. It's going right back to DeMar DeRozan. You've got to step up, Pascal. Great matchup on him right now.
DeRozan cross court to Kobe White on the bounce. Kicks it back. Vucevic 3 up top, no good. Rebound Siakam or Boucher, and they fish for the ball again to no avail. Here comes Schroeder front court. 97 seconds to go in the game. In overtime, tied at 99. Siakam drives, kick out. Schroeder shot fake. Levine guarding him. They swing it to Barnes. Shot clock at 3. Scotty drives, lay it up, no good. Rebound Boucher, he's fouled on the stick back. He'll go to the line for 2.
Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You don't have to love Chris Boucher's game, but one thing you have to do is respect it. Comes in, plays with toughness, plays gritty. You don't have to run anything for him, and especially in these situations, we've seen it last year as well. When he's not getting the bulk of the minutes or the minutes that he likes, or set in the set rotation, he comes in and he just does what he's supposed to do and earns his way, earns his keeps. Coming up with a big offensive rebound here, picks up the foul, knocks down the first free throw.
Second one in the air for Chris, also down. Boucher with 2 gargantuan free throws right now to give Toronto a 101-99 lead.
Well, that's 6 points and 6 rebounds for Chris Boucher in 15 minutes of action.
Kobe White, 3, far side, no good. Rebound kept alive. Into the hands, though, of Gary Trent Jr. Schroeder walks it over the timeline. Under a minute to go, 101-99 Toronto. Schroeder to Siakam. Dribble weave out top to Trent. Now to Schroeder on the Bulls logo. Works far side, right wing. Down the baseline. Underneath to Boucher. Lay it up and in. Toronto by 4. 103-99. Schroeder slithers down the baseline to feed Boucher. Timeout, Chicago.
This may be Jonesy, the ugliest good game that we've seen together. Ugliest good game. This one is definitely not going to be pretty. Raptors come out with this one. You run to the locker room, you shower up, and get out of there. Get the heck out of there. You got another one tomorrow. You got one at home.
Well, Toronto leading this one 103-99. But we've seen the movie get away from them before. We're going to stay here with with Toronto in the lead. 103-99. Javon, you've got to be telling your team, stay on the floor when DeRozan gets the ball.
That's it. Stay on the floor.
You're a hold-up victim. Stand there with your arms over your head like you're in a bank robbery.
Discipline. At this point, you've seen what happened in the late fourth quarter, right? We've all seen it. They've discussed it. You can't have it happen again.
Well, let's see if Toronto can get to the finish line here. They lead at 103-99. Chicago will inbound far side, left wing. Caruso gets it into Vucevic. Looking for Levine, denied by Schroeder. Now to DeRozan in the lane, lays it up and in. 103-101, they get it to Schroeder.
And that's a tough one for Scotty. DeRozan coming downhill at him in the center of the paint, and Scotty doesn't want to pick up his 6, so all you can do is just, contest lightly.
8-second shot clock, game clock difference. Chicago going to play it out. Schroeder works left into the lane, finds Siakam on Caruso, drives, has it stripped. Here comes Levine. Front court on the drive to Caruso. 3 for the lead. Good. 2.3 seconds to go. Timeout, Toronto. 104-103, Chicago.
That's a big-time play by Levine.
That's a big-time stop by Caruso.
And guess what? He's the recipient on the other end. Runs, flattens out the court in that left baseline. Pascal had a tough attack, and Caruso just gets a hand on it. Levine pushing the length of the court on the right-hand side. Everybody's expecting him to attack. Collapses, 4 defenders, kicks out. Caruso, right place, right time. That's 2 big-time plays down the stretch here for him.
So let's see what Toronto has, what Darko has in his bag of tricks. The end of the game, let's see what Toronto comes up with. 104-103. Javon, do you try to get something going to the basket and maybe you get a foul? Or do you just try to get the best shot possible?
It's got to be foul or basket at this point. That's it. Foul or basket. Just be aggressive. Right, you can't put yourself in a situation where you're settling for a jump shot and bailing out Chicago.
Schroeder will inbound. Right side, near wing. Raptors get it to Siakam. drives, pull-up jumper in the air, no good. That's the ball game.
Corey Craig there did a big-time job, tremendous job. The ball gets inbounded, and he knows that Pascal wants to get to that strong hand, blocks it off, kills the time on the clock. And this is a good win for Chicago.
It's a good win. It's a crushing loss for Toronto.
Crushing loss. But for a team that, after the first game, had a players-only meeting, they definitely responded. And this wasn't a pretty game, but they had to fight back, and they came out with a victory. For Toronto, this is one of those games that you learn from right now, and you learn in that fourth quarter, the latter part of that fourth quarter, where the team crumbled, the turnovers, offensive fouls, especially in crunch time, where those are closing minutes, those are closing possessions, and all you had to do was inbound the basketball, get it over half. Little plays like those, you realize how much you have to value each possession at this level.
So Chicago comes back from down 17 with under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they nose Toronto out at the wire. It's a final in overtime. Chicago 104, Toronto 103. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and wrap it up after this. You're listening to Raptors basketball, Tangerine Raptors basketball, across the TSN radio network.
Lately, times have been challenging, with many people facing increased interest rates, inflation, and rising credit card debt. Everyone needs a little help from time to time, but it can be hard to ask for help when it comes to your personal finances. But you're not alone. Millions of Canadians share that feeling with you. 500,000 Canadians have found help with their debt, and so can you with Consolidated Credit Counseling Services of Canada. They are one of the largest non-profit credit counseling organizations in the country, with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They could help you consolidate your bills into one affordable payment, minimize your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. No matter how much you owe, you don't need to do this alone. To get help, call 1-800-656-7129. That's 1-800-656-7129. Let Consolidated Credit get you back to a debt-free life. Call 1-800-656-7129. Call toll-free today for a free consultation. 1-800-656-7129. Ontario license number 4705786.
Want to be certain your reno goes right? Start with Pro Materials with CertainTeed Drywall. In fire-resistant, water-resistant, super durable, or soundproof and top quality insulation, ceiling systems, premium shingles, and siding. Do it right with professional grade building materials from CertainTeed. Pro all the way.
First up with Korolnik and Koliakovo, weekday morning 6 till 10 on TSN 1050.
You ain't first, you're last. Raptors Game Night, the postgame show. Jim Taddy, Warren Ward, and Javon Shepard with you. 104-103, Chicago wins in overtime. And as Jonesy detailed at the end of the game with 4:58 left, 88-71 for the Raptors. And boy, things just got away from them. But, it was a winnable game to say the very least. And probably the best news is there's a game tomorrow night, so not a lot of time to dwell on this. Javon, what do you make of this? I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, isn't there?
There's so much to unpack there. This one's layered. But first of all, 23 turnovers, right, which led to 23 points for their opponent. But it still was a winnable game, and there was a number of possessions at the end of the fourth quarter where we just couldn't get the basketball inbounds, which also there was a couple offensive fouls, and you really had this one in your back pocket to close out. The reality is DeMar missed 2 big free throws for his club as well. So for the Raptors, there's so much in this game right here that you kind of just want to wash the slate, and the positive in all this is there's one more tomorrow. But this was not pretty by any means. For whoever came out or was going to come out with the victory, it wasn't going to be a game that you're going to look at and be, proud of. Maybe for the fight at the end, but in terms of execution, there's a lot for the Raptors to take from this one or learn, because you're closing out games. You've got to find ways just to get the ball inbounded, whether that be just being stronger with it, holding off your defender and giving the inbounder a target. But simple plays like those, that's not even about play calls. That's not even about shots. That is just getting the ball inbounds and working the clock. Got to understand time and score.
Execution. That's the name of the game at this level, and unfortunately, this just wasn't the case down the stretch. I mean, I thought the Raptors were going to have some luck, but all to have a 17-point lead under 5 minutes and to lose this game in overtime off of inbound plays, essentially, it's just not good enough. And I understand, yes, it's early on in the season, but if you want to build those good habits, this is a game that the Raptors should be coming back home 2-0. Chicago, as well as they played, and both these teams had their times when they played particularly well and particularly poorly, and you can see that in the run, 17-6 run or 17-5 run. But to give up a lead when you have it, and then turn the ball over, and then foul, stay down when guys are shooting. If you're 6'10", 6'11", just put your hands up. If he's going to make that shot over top of you and you're contested, okay. But to jump and block the shots and they're not layup attempts in this league, everyone knows the refs are going to blow that whistle. As soon as someone up fakes and they jump in the air, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a foul call. So you got to stay disciplined in those situations. Stay on your feet, just contest, and make DeMar DeRozan hit tough shots over 2 6'9" guys.
Well, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think what hurts there is 2 of those fouls. The one on Boucher was, again, on DeMar. When he catches the basketball, he's going into his shot fake package, right, on the three-point line. That one hurts. And then getting it in the mid-post, Pascal did a great job defending him, a tremendous job defending him, staying down, staying disciplined, staying squared, and was contesting vertically. And Scotty coming from the weak side, just a bit out of control, picking up another one on a shot fake. So it's tough enough, to pick up fouls and hard to digest when you're picking up fouls on jump shooters. But DeMar at that, when he's going, he's going to shot fake. He's going to try and get you up into the air. Those ones are tough.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I thought, even with all that being said, Raptors had a chance to win this basketball game. I think, as poorly as Zach LaVine played, he made a great play down the stretch. Caruso coming up with the strip and then knocking down the 3 at the end of the game. But Schroeder was able to get into the paint, and we got to tip our hat to, Chris Boucher, who didn't play in the last game, played this one, and not only did he knock down 2 free throws, got the layup off the drive at the end of the game from Dennis Schroeder. So really good play by him, and that's a bright spot. I think that's how Boucher is going to earn more minutes. This game was sloppy. As Javon said, they can wipe the slate clean and hopefully tomorrow have a much better outcome.
The other thing, to your point, and I'm looking at the numbers as well, in that second half, they really found something that was working, just really milking. And I know in the first half it was messy as well. It wasn't the best basketball in terms of the offense, but they really started to work those side ball screens and just find the matchups that they wanted and target Caruso, target Kobe White, and they were getting some really good looks out of them, and you could just see the offense start to flow a bit more. And sometimes less is more. You don't need to look over at your coach to run plays, run sets, but you get those mismatches. You're getting the post-up, you're getting good looks, and from that, now you're getting some double teams. You're getting Chicago shrinking the floor. You move the basketball, you get some good rhythm. So I think there's some things to take away from it, and for guys that are not in new positions, but are in new roles in terms of, Scotty has more responsibility. You have the keys. Dennis Schroeder essentially has his own team running and orchestrating his own team right now. You found some stuff in the second half. Now, later on in the game, those guys have also got to learn how to close out games, right? That's going to be important as well for this season is, how do we execute when our backs are against the wall? And especially when you're playing a team at home that's going to have, the refs on their side, going to have the crowd on their side and energizing them as well. The calls may not go your way. How do we close out games? And fortunately for the Raptors, this is happening in just the second game, or this happened in just the second game of the season. But you watch film, and like you said, a quick turnaround, you got another game tomorrow.
Yeah, no, definitely, a big learning opportunity. 33 points scored offensively in that third quarter, 25 points in the fourth. And I think, even with the overtime period, Chicago only scored 104 points, and they had 99 field goal attempts, So it just goes to show you the Raptors' defense is still as far from perfect as it is. And as we both know, Javon, it's not going to be perfect, but as far away from that as it is, look what they're able to do defensively. And I think that's another bright spot. I think they can hang their head on that side of the floor. It is now this is a huge moment in terms of learning and growth. How do the Raptors now close out basketball games? Are they going to be, a little bit careless and not, even Pascal's at the end when, Caruso's going to flop. He's definitely going to do that. But you just stand your ground, you extend your arm, you tell the inbounder to put the ball into space and let me go get it instead of trying to be, physical on the inbound. And I think those little things are all learning moments, hopefully, and excuse me, better yet, it's better that it's happening now instead of in game 25 or in game 55 for that matter, right?
Yeah.
So, a positive there.
The other thing too is you look at what you've held Minnesota to in your opening night game, 34% shooting from the floor, and this game as well, you held Chicago to 37% shooting from the floor. Right? Obviously, it didn't unfold the right way with the results that you wanted, but some things to take away there, right? Defensively, you have the capability, you have the ability with this team, this unit. It's just those lapses that we've seen in this game more so where, okay, it's a game of runs, but you've got to be able to limit your opponent's runs. You've got to be able to mitigate those runs and transfer that into some offense or just transfer that into some energy that you can use. Whether you're manifesting it on the defensive end or offensive end, but it's got to just permeate throughout the team.
No, I agree. I think I'm looking forward to tomorrow. You're on a back-to-back. The bench is going to be crucial tomorrow. I think with OG out. And we don't know if he'll play tomorrow or not yet, but as we find out, definitely going to need other people to step up. They might even go 11 or 12 deep tomorrow potentially. Otto Porter, he may get some minutes depending on OG's health and the other guys at the end of the bench as well. They're going, a veteran like Garrett Temple, he may be able to play tomorrow and step up and alleviate some of those minutes. We're not going to expect the same sort of any sort of production, but definitely come in and give the team some sort of minutes so that tomorrow, can be a game as well. Because you got another big physical team, a veteran team in Philly coming here.
Well, the good thing, they have 3 games coming up at home against the 76ers, Trailblazers, and Bucks. And, Philly's coming off a tough game. It's going to be a little stretch there.
That's why we're laughing.
But Philly, Philly's coming off of a tough one against Milwaukee. And
well, this is where that depth is going to have to come through. We've talked about the depth the last few weeks, of course, Darko Rajakovic wanting to go deeper into his rotation. And this is one of those good news, bad news scenarios because the bench, as much as I thought they let the starters down in the first half, 3 of those guys really stepped up in the second half and served as a bit of a catalyst with Gary Trent Jr. playing really well in the fourth quarter. Obviously, Chris Boucher and his energy sparking something, and he ultimately needed to close the game with Pirtle and Achua both fouling out. I thought Achua was pretty good in the second half as well, but you'll notice I named 3 guys there, and that is an 8-man rotation. That's the 8-man rotation that Nick Nurse was playing last year when everybody said, well, they need to go deeper into the bench. They need to go deeper into the bench. And listen, it's still early, but through 2 games, the Raptors bench, once you get beyond those 3 guys, it's looking pretty thin. So to Warren's point, like tomorrow, you're going to need to get something out of those other guys. Jalen McDaniels, like at some point, the opportunity for him is going to run out. I think as Darko talked about, the leash is going to be longer this year. They want to give guys an opportunity to either play themselves into a role or play themselves out of a role. It's not going to be like 1 bad game, 2 bad games, you're out. But a couple games, it's been very quiet for McDaniels. Again, Malachi Flynn, small sample size, but he hasn't played well. They need something out of those guys. And then, maybe we do see some of these vets. This is the 7th oldest team in the NBA. And I think a lot of that is just the veterans at the end of the bench weighing up that average age. Porter, Temple, Young, but maybe you could get something out of those guys on the second night of a back-to-back. We're going to find out here. You cross your fingers with OG, but this is now 2 games in a row that he's cramped up. As great as he was in the opener, he mentioned to us while he was wearing a whole bunch of big ice packs on those legs after the game that he was cramping a little bit, and then cramps obviously knocking him out of the game today. So you cross your fingers with him because the Raptors absolutely need their best defender.
Well, that doesn't. His cramps don't worry me because when you look at OG, he's all muscle. He's built on all muscle. So a couple Gatorades, a couple bananas.
He's going to have more muscle cramps than I will, I'll tell you that.
But I think he'll be fine. It's just, ramping up, going from your preseason, going from the off season, and, it's coming right back up and coming right back into this level of intensity. But to Coach Darko Rajakovic, he's come out, he said he wants to go with a 10-man rotation, and that's sweet, that's pretty, that's great for all these players to hear. And they've had a tremendous preseason and start to the season. But I think one thing to keep in mind for those young players is you've got an opportunity in front of you. You've got to fight. You've got to earn it. You got to come out and play with some fire, play with some conviction. Because he said, I want to go with a 10-man rotation. It is up to you to lose. And that leash is going to be long until they lose it, right? And they've got to come out. They've got to produce. They've got to play like they're capable of because there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be concerned of. You have opportunity in front of you. That is to be excited about.
Well, lots to digest coming off of what was one of the strangest games I've ever seen and going into a very tough test in the second night of a back-to-back at home against Philadelphia tomorrow. We're going to take a break and come back to digest some of that.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
2-for-1 Pizza is taking it up a nacho with new 2-for-1 nachos and Irish nachos for just $9.99 each. Enjoy the 2-for-1 nachos with corn tortilla chips or try the Irish nachos with potato wedges. Both come loaded with nacho cheese sauce, mozzarella cheese, tomatoes, green peppers, red onions, and jalapeno peppers. Add the 2-for-1 special featuring 2 medium pizzas with 4 toppings combined for only $20.99 plus tax. Order online at 2for1pizza.com.
Hockey season's back, and you know what that means. There's going to be more. More? And thanks to Hyundai's Breakaway Sales Event, even more. So come celebrate the new hockey season and break away with the new Hyundai. New vehicles arriving daily, so order yours today. Conditions apply. Vehicle availability varies by model. Visit HyundaiCanada.com or your local dealer for details.
Look at you, exercising again.
Well, I just walked the dog.
And Healthy Planet salutes you for living healthy.
Or should I say, he walked me.
So, keep it going and shop Healthy Planet, where everyday people live healthy every day. From healthy foods and natural vitamins to in-house nutritionists, Healthy Planet has been your healthy choice for over 25 years. Shop in-store.
Who knew pugs were so strong?
Or HealthyPlanetCanada.com, your one-stop health shop with everyday value.
This is Raptors Game Night on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here.
Welcome back to Raptors Game Night. Raptors fall 104-103 to Chicago in overtime. Josh Lewenberg alongside Javon Shepard and Warren Ward having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to step in for Jim Taddy. Hopefully I do better than the Raptors bench tonight. Well, listen, I mean, I don't even know where we start here with the last 7-8 minutes of this game. From the Raptors side of things, we had missed free throws, bad fouls, a botched inbound play. Listen, I mean, the league doesn't allow the Raptors to hold shoot-around tomorrow, being that it's the second night of a back-to-back. They're not going to practice on Sunday because they're coming off of the back-to-back. But at some point over the next few days, they're going to get back in the gym. They're going to have a lot of film to watch and a lot of things to cover. Javon, where do you even start if you're Darko Rajakovic?
Well, I think, for one, players are going to go back and watch some film at this game, the end of this game, and some of those mistakes that happen, things that are you don't need practice to change that, right? You don't need practice to know that if a ball is being inbounded, you got to hold off your defender and give the inbounder a target to get you the basketball. You don't need practice to know, okay, I can't foul, a prolific scorer in this league on jump shots, right? And you know that he's gets into his shot fakes at the end of a game. You know that the ball's going to go in his hands, especially with the game that Zach LaVine has had, 3 for 14. So if you're the Toronto Raptors, you don't need practice for that, right? So I think you come back to the drawing board, and what you do need to work on is, okay, where do we identify our go-to plays? What are our go-to sets? Where are we going to get our offense from when there's a lid on the basket? I thought they found that out in the second half, right, in that third quarter there. But that's got to happen sooner, right? That's got to happen in the second quarter when they had that crumble, right? When the offense can't support the defense and the defense isn't really supporting the offense, you've got to be able to find something and generate some offense quick at that point. So those are things, you work on when you have the opportunity. But it was a messy game, and truth be told, their opening game against Minnesota, that wasn't the prettiest game on the offensive end as well. And it's in the half court, right? And I think with a new offense, obviously there's going to be a lot to learn, a lot of guys that are in not new positions, so to say, but scoring positions, right? You're learning, Scotty has the ball in his hands a bit more, and he's great in transition. He's got to learn how to just really have his pulse and control the game, orchestrate his offense in the half court. You've got to get some better contribution from Flynn if he's going to come in and step in as a backup point guard. And Schroeder as well. When it's late in the game, if he's going to be the primary guard, then he's got to be the guy to execute. He has the keys. He's got to be the guy that's going to take control, get guys into spots where they need to be, and hold everybody accountable. Because, again, this was a winnable game. Warren mentioned it. And some of those mistakes down the stretch is just you just need some leadership. You need somebody to step up and say, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going in this direction. We had one bad play. Well, we can't have another.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. If I'm Coach Darko, I'm going to focus on everything that the team can control. So you can control, inbound plays. You can control, execution down the stretch. So even that last play with, Pascal, I'm going to get myself to a much better spot. And instead of dribbling to try and create a pull-up, I'm probably going to jab and then, shoot over top of him. So little things like that are within the control of the team. And that wasn't the reason why they lost, but it was an opportunity to go ahead and win. So I want to focus on everything that is in our control. And if they can make those changes for tomorrow and for every other game, they'll put themselves in a much better position to be successful in the season. It's a long season. It's a grind. We all know that. Or, we're going to be talking for 41 games, if not more so. So it's a long, long season, and they have to be ready for the lack of depth that they might have due to injury, because we're seeing that now. And at the same time, focus and control the things that they can, and making sure you're getting in extra shots if need be, because to shoot the ball like that and still be in a game is great, but you need to go ahead and make shots in this league. This is a make or miss league, and you got to be able to make shots, and you got to defend. And I think that part of the game they do have, but stay together. Make sure just because they lose one game, there is no blaming, and there is no finger pointing, because we saw that last year and that didn't really go over too well. So this season, focus on staying together. And I think from what all the players have said, the trust is there. And I think they believe in Coach Darko, and I think that will translate over tomorrow. So it's an opportunity to respond, and they can control that.
Yeah, I'm a bit torn, because you look at this and you're so tempted to just say, okay, well, new coach, new system, there's a learning curve here. But at the same time, and we talked about this as well, is like a lot of it is just late game execution, discipline, knowing the scouting report. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, you know what he's going to do, and it's easier said than done to stay down and to not bite on that pump fake. But at the same time, we're not talking about rookies on the floor. Like, we're not talking about Grady Dick falling for the pump fake. We're talking about veteran NBA players, Chris Boucher, Pascal Siakam, a guy that practiced with DeMar DeRozan for multiple seasons, So I do think you've got to – there's work to be done here, and I agree with you, Warren. Like, it's not a matter of, like, pointing fingers or anything like that, but – yeah, guys have to hold themselves and hold each other accountable, and these are good learning lessons early in the season. We'll shift gears a little bit and talk about a positive, I thought, from today and stemming from the opener as well. And Scotty Barnes, a second career triple-double for the third-year player. We'll talk all things Scotty when we come back from break. Raptors fall 104-103 in overtime. This is Raptors Game Night.
They're coming in hot.
Everyone, listen, he's a very good goaltender in the making. Let's just breathe. Let him be a good young goaltender.
Noodles, I totally agree with you, Noodles. But I'll tell you what, nothing horns me up. Like, you show me solid goaltending, I get excited about that. You know the Cleveland Browns jersey with the 17 quarterbacks on it? The last 10 years of the goaltenders, it seems like it's been a revolving door. So when you draft a guy and he plays in the minors and it's kind of like a prototypical draft and develop and he's your own and you've cultivated this nugget, it's exciting.
You know what you just did? Find the Tommy boy with the little dinner roll.
It's like,
you're the
I
dinner
pet
roll.
it.
Yeah, he's like, I love it. It's precious. You cultivate it. And
yes.
Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog. Weekdays at 4 on TSN 1050.
Whatever the weather, CMC Markets is here to help. Planning for a rainy day? Enjoy $0 commission on U.S. and Canadian share CFDs. Riding out the storm? Get ahead of the curve with lightning-fast execution speeds. Blue skies ahead? Go with the trusted broker backed by over 30 years experience. Switch to CMC Markets and join over 275,000 global traders. Learn more at cmcmarkets.ca. FX spreads apply. CFDs involve a high degree of risk. Member Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Umbrella not included.
What do you do when you hear ads announcing sales on mattresses and sleep essentials?
50% off. Big sale now.
Head to Sleep Country. Our unmatched buying power means great prices on top brands. And with our unbeatable price guarantee, we'll beat competitors' prices by at least 5%. If you shop anywhere else, you're paying too much. Ask a Sleep Country sleep expert for details on our unbeatable price guarantee today and start sleeping better now.
Ontario has never invested more in student success. We're hiring thousands of new educators to work alongside some of the best paid teachers in Canada, right here in Ontario. We're investing in new reading and math supports and spending billions to upgrade and build state-of-the-art schools. Students are back in classrooms with their friends where they belong, so they learn the skills they need now for the jobs of the future. Learn more at ontario.ca/investing in students. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
At Toyota, we build quality trucks with you in mind because everyone loves a friend with a truck, especially a Toyota, winner of the Canadian Black Book Award for Best Residual Value. So when that inevitable ring-a-ding-ding for help comes, you're there, rolling up in an award-winning truck because you're an award-worthy friend. It's time to lift with your legs. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2023 Tacoma Double Cab SR5 from $128 weekly for 64 months at 7.79% with $4,000 down. They're in stock now. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream us on iHeartRadio, the TSN app, or on Apple CarPlay. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
This is Raptors Game Night. Josh Lewenberg, Javon Shepard, Warren Ward. A wild night in Chicago. The Raptors on the wrong end of a 40-9 run in the first half. A 22-5 run to close regulation. And yet, at one point in the fourth quarter, according to ESPN, they had a 99.8% win probability. That was when they were up by 17 with about 5 minutes left. Alas, it was not to be, but a silver lining. Scotty Barnes, his second career triple-double, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. What impressed you most about Scotty, Javon?
Just the look in his eyes right now. He just seems more poised, more mature. I think he understands that they've given him the keys, and you can just see when he goes out, especially when he's pushing it in transition, he just looks like he's in so much more control. And there was a number of times where he recognized mismatches on the floor, and you could just see him communicating to his teammates to get the ball to those matchups. And he's less frustrated. Last year, there was times where he would take possessions off because he just wasn't engaged in the game. So I think the fact that he has that confidence right now, he also knows that I have this added 9 pounds of muscle. If I want, I can take the rock and go the length of the floor or take it and post it up and just punish my defense. He's okay with that. And even the way he's shooting the basketball, 1 for 2 from the three-point line tonight, but he just understands good shots, right? And letting the ball work is coming back to him. So I think with Scotty, you always knew that he could facilitate. You knew that he could pass the basketball. You knew that he could defend. But now he's starting to put it all together. And with 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, I think a game like this, yeah, we're all disappointed in the loss. But a game like this is imperative in this third-year player's growth and just learning now I have the tools to play in this league. I have the tools to dominate in this league. That's the next step for Scotty Barnes is gaining the tools to close games out. And the only way you do that is through experience, right? You can't just replicate that by watching film or practices. It is getting in those moments and learning from those moments, learning through experience, learning through real time.
I think he's taken a step up in terms of his ability to look comfortable. He knows what he's doing out there now compared to the first 2 years where he didn't look lost, but he didn't look this confident. Now he knows he belongs. And for a guy with, not to say a limited skill set, but with someone who doesn't have all the polishings, he's still so effective. And you look at his plus minus on the floor, plus 15, 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. So he's doing pretty much everything that you can do, and he's very, very good in transition. He makes good decisions, and if you want to be a good basketball player, decision making is something that takes time to go ahead and develop. And I think being forced to be in that position where Scotty is not only leading the break, but he's also rebounding. He's always making decisions, not only for himself, but for other people. So when to shoot, when to pass, how to initiate offense, all those things he's doing, and he's doing it at a high level. So to be put in that position, second game of the season, have a triple-double when people are expecting you to go ahead and perform, at least this way, we're seeing, I think he's ready for that step. And I mean, when you look at him play, like I said, the thing that I see the most is that he just looks so much more comfortable, where he's not second guessing, am I really good enough to be here? No, I am, and I'm going to show you why. And I think, as the season goes on, regardless of the record, we will see Scotty continue to do that and be consistent.
Well, Scotty's going to need to come up big tomorrow. Nick Nurse, Joel Embiid, not James Harden, but the rest of the 76ers are waiting for the Raptors in Toronto. Second night of a back-to-back tomorrow. 7:30 tip, 7 o'clock pregame. You can listen to it right here. Raptors fall tonight, 104-103 in Chicago in overtime. This has been Raptors Game Night.
All right, everyone. Step up and down. Left foot, right foot. You're climbing up a trail. Now back in your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and getting active in the real world. Work those abs. Driving right through the mud and left and right. Keep that core engaged and bend at the knees as you load more into your Subaru. Windows down. Take in that outdoor air and park.
Get more value out of every kilometer at your local Subaru dealer, starting with award-winning safety.
Hey Raptor fans, what's better than the team winning on the court? A win for the kids and a win for you. When you play the MLSE Foundation 50-50 jackpot, you help communities get kids and youth off the sidelines and onto the court. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. Will you be a winner this season? Only one way to know. Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
2-for-1 Pizza is taking it up a notcho with new 2-for-1 nachos and Irish nachos for just $9.99 each. Enjoy the 2-for-1 nachos with corn tortilla chips or try the Irish nachos with potato wedges. Both come loaded with nacho cheese sauce, mozzarella cheese, tomatoes, green peppers, red onions, and jalapeno peppers. Add a large quattro pizza with 4 toppings combined for only $15.99 plus tax. Order online at 2for1pizza.com.
At Public Mobile, we do things differently. From our subscription phone plans to throwing a big sale right now when no one else is. Well, maybe they are, but who cares? Our sale is better. And it's on right now. No waiting necessary. You have the latest phone. Now take advantage of a great price on a 5G subscription phone plan. It's the perfect deal for anyone who could use some savings right now. Subscribe today at publicmobile.ca. different is calling.
When my knees were hurting, I was that guy who told everyone about it. I talked to my colleagues. Hi, everyone, my knees hurt. To my dog, my knees hurt. But really, I should have been talking to my doctor about Cingal, the only treatment that combines fast-acting and long-lasting relief from osteoarthritis knee pain in a single injection. To find a clinic, visit cingal.ca. CINGAL.ca. Stop going on about your knee pain. Instead, talk to your doctor about Cingal. Cingal may not be appropriate for everyone. If you have questions about this product, talk to your doctor.
Hey, it's me. You know me. Some say I'm time, some say I talk, some think I grow on trees, and people want to look like a million of me. That's right, I'm money, and I'm ready to work harder, because now with HSBC Bank, you earn more interest. That means making you more of me.
Make your money work harder for you. Get up to 6.35% per year on new deposits with an HSBC Canadian dollar high rate savings account. Visit hsbc.ca/money. Terms apply. Offer ends on January 12th, 2024. Rates are subject to change.
Quarterback Brock Purdy is listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Bengals. And on NFL Live, ESPN reporter Jeff Darlington says Purdy has advanced quickly in a concussion protocol.
He reported concussion symptoms on the plane ride home on Monday night, was put into protocol on Tuesday. By all accounts, we all expected him not to be able to play on Sunday. Sam Darnold would start, right? But in 48 hours, he was already through 4 phases of the concussion protocol. Kyle Shanahan not willing to say that Purdy won't play in this game. It is still very possible that he could be cleared for contact and ultimately be under center. Like I said, though, it'll be Sam Darnold, if not him.
Purdy is aiming to pass the final step of the protocol on Saturday. Niners left tackle Trent Williams is questionable with an ankle injury, which is an improvement from doubtful last week as he did some work early in practice today. And the Titans will be without starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill for Sunday's game against the Falcons, according to his head coach Mike Vrabel. Tannehill was unable to practice all week because of a high ankle sprain he suffered in Week 6. And Chiefs wide receiver Justin Ross has been placed on the NFL exempt list after being arrested this week on charges of domestic battery and criminal damage to property. Ross has pleaded not guilty to both misdemeanor charges during his arraignment on Tuesday.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. It's a huge Monday coming up on Unsportsmanlike. Of course, we got the World Series games 1 and 2. Plus, it's Week 8 in the NFL. Can the 49ers end the 2-game skid versus the Bengals? Unsportsmanlike, Monday starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Who else came up in your? I mean, you got the Brooke Lopez Giannis double tag team in Milwaukee. I kind of want Bam to win it one year, and obviously Jaren Jackson Jr. We'll see if he can repeat what he did. He'll have a bigger offensive role this year for a team that we should probably talk about Memphis right now. My editors